Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We'll be on the air in just a couple minutes. Oh, man, we got a lot to talk about today.
At the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call.
If you're new, make sure you subscribe. And everyone, right as we're getting started, like the video.
Give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
If you suffer with diabetes, there's a 25% chance that you'll develop a foot ulcer that can lead to severe health consequences, including amputation. At the sole authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own therapeutic shoes and custom inserts. Medicare recipients are entitled to one pair of quality diabetic shoes and 3 custom inserts. Call the sole authority today, 954-597-7060.
The Steve Kane
Here we go.
Is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens.
A big day of celebration.
Call toll-free
The collapse of
855-FLA.
the Democrat Party.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE-1. And now, here's Steve Kane.
All right. Good morning, everyone. We are here live. It is Monday morning, December 20th, 2021. 5 minutes after the hour. My name is Brian Craig. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And man, do we have a lot to talk about on the radio this morning. There is no getting around that. The collapse of the Biden presidency, the collapse of, the Biden presidency, the collapse of the Democrat Party with these major divisions going on, and of course with the Build Back Better bill being done. It's over. No matter what Pelosi says, now that it's over, the American, I guess our civilization has been saved in many ways. It was that big of a deal. And, there's a big lie. There's a big lie being told by the media and the Democrats. And it's the entire media. All of it so far, unless they make a change. And here's the lie that they're telling you, that Joe Manchin stopped this on his own. That is not the case. And I'm not just talking about Sinema either. It was more than Manchin and more than Sinema. There were a whole bunch of Democrats that we're hearing about, a whole bunch of Democrats who said no to Joe weeks ago. Now, the front man has been Joe Manchin, followed by Sinema. But the Democrat Party, for the very first time, have done this has never really happened before. If you have other examples at this level that you can think of, I'm here to take a call on it. But for the very first time, on a major issue, the Democrat Party is divided. They're divided. And this is a great day. This Build Back Better plan would have done it was like New Deal size spending. We already have out of control inflation and major problems due to the incompetence of the government led by Joe Biden and his incompetent cabinet. And to expand the government with all this huge money printing that they don't even print money anymore. They just go to a computer and add zeros. Zeros. That's how they do it now. Devaluing the currency. We could have gone into a total economic meltdown of the Great Depression levels if this Build Back Better bill would have happened. And there's many other things too, the details of it, which I'm not going to go through right now, but you're all welcome to bring them up during the course of the conversation. But President Trump talked about this a lot in his speeches in rallies around the country all these years. They say what you want about the Democrats, but they always stick together, unlike the Republicans. Well, not anymore. Not anymore. Why do you think that is? Why is there so much division in the Democrat? And I'll tell you right here, right now, as of today, I guess it was yesterday, but this is the first weekday, but as of yesterday, the Biden presidency was in effect over. He has this huge bill that he's been trying to push through for what, 6 months? 5-6 months? And it failed. And you know, you have something that is your entire agenda that fails at this level. That's it. You're lame duck. You're done. You are weak. You have no power. You have no authority. You can't get anything done. It's absolutely insane to say, but it is true. The Biden presidency officially ended with the Fox News Sunday interview with Bret Baier and Joe Manchin yesterday. Let me play the clip because it's so fun to hear. Here's Manchin with Bret Baier on Fox News Sunday without that creep Chris Wallace. Oh, let me... live radio, people. Hold on, let me play it now. Here we go.
If I can't go home and explain it to the people of West Virginia, I can't vote for it. And I cannot vote to continue with this piece of legislation. I just can't. I've tried everything humanly possible. I can't get there.
You're done. This is a no.
This is a no on this legislation. I have tried everything I know to do. And the president has worked diligently. He's been wonderful to work with. He knows I've had concerns and the problems I've had. And you know, the thing that we should all be is directing our attention towards the variant, the COVID that we have coming back at us in so many different aspects in different ways. It's affecting our lives again. We have inflation that basically could really harm a lot of Americans, and especially those who are most needy and having a hard time struggling right now. So I think that's where our attention needs to be directed toward.
Okay. Yeah, so that's it. Do you think Chris Wallace is physically ill? Because his first week after his firing from Fox News Channel, it's the first Fox News Sunday after the firing of Chris Wallace, and then news breaks that everyone on the planet Earth is talking about on the show he was fired from a week before. Chris Wallace must be sick. Good. You're a jerk, Chris Wallace. Yeah, I'm glad they broke news the week. You know, if they would have just had some mediocre show the first week after the firing of Chris Wallace with someone auditioning for that show, with some guest that was forgettable, it would have been uneventful. But to have Bret Baier, who's a big shot, heavy hitter over at Fox News, bring in Joe Manchin, not just for some generic interview, but to make global news the first week without Chris Wallace being there, I say good, awesome. And, you know, in a way, it's kind of like a way to stick it. They hate Chris Wallace over there at Fox News. But, yeah, it's over. It's over. So a couple things here. The Biden presidency completely over. One, because this huge piece of legislation shows that he's a weakling. That's why he's going to come out tomorrow with all these new restrictions that they say will be some of the most hardcore restrictions that we've seen since the beginning of the pandemic. So he's got to come out tomorrow and look like a butch leader. I'm in charge, and I'm edict this, edict that. This will be done. That will be done. He's going to come out with all these edicts to show that he's got a pair. He's in charge. He's in control. I'm going to have executive orders going on all day. So he shows that he's tough, that he's with it, that he's in control, when he's completely out of control. So his presidency is over because he couldn't get it shows that he's weak. There's no doubt about that. But the Biden-Pelosi era is over. Is it true that Pelosi was on TV over the weekend with lipstick on her messed up on her face? She's so out of it. The reign of Pelosi and Biden as leaders of the Democrat Party is also over because the real purpose of the Build Back Better bill, do you guys, what was the main, I'm not going to troll for calls on that. I hate when people do that on the radio. It's a time killer because they've got nothing to say to fill their hours on the air and they're desperate for calls. They'll ask a question and then they'll take calls for 30, 40, an hour, you know, and try to have people guess. And if somebody guesses, they got to say, no, that's not it, so they can prolong their time killer because they have no talent. But what was the real purpose? It's kind of a rhetorical question because I'm going to give you the answer. But what was the main purpose of the Build Back Better bill? What was the main purpose? It wasn't to build anything. It wasn't to do anything. It wasn't to expand government and all of that. The biggest expansion since the New Deal, all those things may be true, but that wasn't the purpose of the Build Back Better. What was the main purpose of the Build Back Better bill? Pretty simple. The main purpose was this: pay off the donors. Pay off the donors, and the donors didn't get paid. And, the members of the federal government, the elected officials in our federal government, the Congress and the White House, they have a legal money laundering operation going on. It's legal. And it's legal because Congress makes the laws, and they make the laws to benefit themselves, and then their hack presidents sign them into law. This is what they do. They tell mega donors, rich people, corporations, donate as much money as you're allowed to by law to us, okay? And we're going to pay you back thousands of times over, maybe even millions of times over, when we're in power and we pass all these spending bills to go to you, the donors. They're often called earmarks. You hear about earmarks? That's what they are. They didn't come through with the bill. It wasn't just what was in the bill itself, which was terrible. That was going to go back to the big donors. It was all the earmarks that they add in for all the members of Congress to pass it. The earmarks aren't a part of the bill. They're things that they just pencil in at the last minute to get the congressman from here, there, and everywhere, and the gentleman from this state and the gentlelady from that state to sign on. We don't even know what the earmarks would have been, but the donors do because they were promised, and they didn't get it. Uh-oh. The donors are pissed. That means they're done. They're cut off. See, donors believe that they own the Congress, that they own whoever the president is, other than Donald Trump, because he wasn't into that dirty world. Oh, man. So this is an exciting day. The Biden presidency is over. So that's it. Now, he's going to come out tomorrow with all his executive orders. They'll call them executive actions, but they're executive orders. A bunch of edicts to show that he's in charge and with it. The Democrat Party is in complete disarray. The Democrat Party is at war within itself. The Democrats in the House are at war with the Democrats in the Senate because so many of them, not just Manchin, didn't support any of this nonsense they were pushing through. So this is a great day of celebration. We're going to party like it's 1999 today. So this is exciting stuff. Our number is toll-free from anywhere. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. And, another thing, too, that you've got to think about is how amazing of a clean, saintly-like figure Joe Manchin is. And you may be wondering, what do you mean, saintly? Can you imagine, what's been going on these past few months with Joe Manchin and other Democrats, but Joe Manchin in particular? They have been investigating this guy, I'm talking about the Democrats, looking for blackmail material for months. And they didn't find anything to leak out on this guy to discredit him. If they could have found an affair, a woman, a claim to go public with to try to tarnish his reputation, to try to get him to play ball or maybe even force him to resign, believe me, it would have been out there. They've investigated this guy like they investigated Sarah Palin and Wasilla when she announced that she was running for vice president with McCain. They've been investigating Joe Manchin like they've been investigating Trump since he came down the escalator. And they found nothing on Joe Manchin. How many Washington men, how many senators can go through that kind of investigation, that kind of harassment, looking for blackmail material, was saved by a Democrat this weekend? Doesn't it? It's a little scary, too. Hey, 465-2631. Now, of course, Christmas is coming up. There is still time to do your Christmas shopping at MyPillow.com, and with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, there are humongous discounts, including 50% off the MyPillow mattress topper. And, of course, Andrea talked about how with the MyPillow mattress topper, since she's had it, she got her first full night's sleep in 5 years. She called in last week to share her story of how Mike Lindell's MyPillow mattress topper saved and changed her life. Have the MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper, which is 50% off right now with the promo code KANE at checkout. And you were telling me about your situation and how the MyPillow mattress topper changed your life. Can you tell me about that?
Let me tell you, Brian, I'm literally shocked. I'm normally very skeptical when I buy things. So I have 6 MyPillows, and then I bought the mattress topper. So about 5 years ago, I was involved in an accident at the gym where I was doing a pull-up and somebody actually jumped on me, which tore both my rotator cuffs, and on my right shoulder, it severed my bicep, part of my tricep, most of the deltoids, and there's a fine skin that goes all the way around your elbow joint, pretty much all of that. So my right shoulder is loaded with pins and screws, and so is my right elbow, and I can't really sleep laying down. So it's hard for me to sleep. I never get deep sleep. When I got the mattress topper, it has been the first time...
you want the 3-inch mattress topper for whatever... There's only 2 mattress toppers, Jacqueline. There's a 2-inch and a 3-inch. It's the 3-inch you want, and it's 50% off on the radio listener specials with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. There's only 2, a 3-inch and a 2. The differences are in the size mattress you have.
Longer deep sleep durations, which is imperative for, your health.
Oh, yeah.
Supposed to get
That's amazing.
down into the...
That's amazing, Andrea. That really is. Now, listen, if you go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener specials, you can get the very same mattress topper that I sleep on, the one that Andrea is talking about. It's the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, the thickest mattress topper that Mike Lindell and MyPillow offer for 50% off with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. You can also order by phone, 800-716-4879, 800-716-4879, promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. Yeah, that's amazing, and I'm glad we can help you out with that, and I'm sure it's been a big change in your life.
It's shocking. It's literally shocking. It's the best thing I have ever bought, truly.
Wow. Hey, Andrea, thanks for that. I appreciate it.
Have a good day, Brian.
All right, take care. Wow, that's amazing. You hear that? First night's sleep she's gotten in 5 years with the MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper. 50% off with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. And again, you can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. Comes in every mattress size there is, and it comes in a box that's perfect to wrap and put under the tree. You can also send it to the recipient of the gift if you're sending it out for a Christmas gift. But as you can hear with Andrea, it makes a great gift for yourself as well. Wow, that's an amazing story.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All righty. Oh, man, welcome back. We're celebrating a Democrat saving American civilization as we know it. Progressive Democrats, listen to this, Progressive Democrats blasted Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia after he said he wouldn't support President Biden's spending bill. House Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who's got some really, she's got some apologizing to do. I point this out from time to time. We hear a lot from leftists that we have a debt to pay to, this time of year, because Thanksgiving was last month, we have a debt to pay to Native American Indians for stealing their land. We have a debt to pay to African Americans for slavery. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. There was one Cortez even more famous than her. The Conquistador. The Conquistador Cortez. Oh my goodness. How many South American natives, indigenous peoples, were murdered by her ancestor, the Conquistador Cortez? So AOC, you got some apologizing to do, maybe reparations to pay Maybe you can find an indigenous South American to give your Tesla to. House Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez warned that our democracy is on the line, and the Democratic leadership needed to bring the bill to a vote on the Senate floor. Democracy's on the line. You know, this is really a scary thing. This is this democratic socialist lie that we're told. How is democracy on the line? Now, AOC believes, and now she says she doesn't like being called AOC. It's disrespectful. Huh? I thought she embraced that. AOC believes that if a member of Congress does not do what they're told when it comes to their vote by whoever the president is, that we've lost our democracy. That democracy is when you have a dictator as president and the members of that party in the legislative branch vote the way that they're told to. I don't know what kind of democracy she's talking. This is newspeak right out of George Orwell's 1984, changing the meaning of words. Democracy means dictatorship, right? I guess. Fellow progressives Cori Bush, the Democrat from Missouri, accused Manchin, the centrist Democrat, of having a corporatist ego. What the heck does that mean? Corporatist ego. You know what you have here? You got a bunch of spoiled babies. I didn't get my way. I didn't get my way. Democracy means I always get my way. This is that participation trophy millennial generation where they started giving out trophies to everyone on the team, even the losers. The White House lashed out at Manchin on Sunday for finally coming out against Biden's Build Back Better. Jen Psaki said Manchin's comments are at odds with his discussions this week with the president, with White House staff, and with his own public utterances. Liar, liar, pants on fire, nose as long as a telephone wire. Okay, now those of you out there have been following this issue with Manchin and Sinema. At what point did you ever think Manchin was going to vote for this? We've known for months that Manchin was a no vote. So what's Psaki talking about? Manchin, a Democrat, said that he can't vote for Build Back Better even after the new year. I can't not vote to continue with this piece of legislation, Joe Manchin told Fox News' Brett Baier on Fox News Sunday's first show after the firing of lowlife Chris Wallace. I just can't, he added. I've tried everything humanly possible. I can't get there. Senator Bernie Sanders, fake socialist, fake communist. How many communists are multimillionaires? Is there a conflict? Because he's a communist and he's a multimillionaire, right? Is there a conflict between being a communist and a millionaire? Because Bernie Sanders claims to be a communist, but he's also a millionaire. How can you be a communist and a millionaire? Senator Bernie Sanders immediately condemned the remarks of Joe Manchin, saying, well, I think he's going to have a lot of explaining to do to the people of West Virginia. Really? We got anyone in West Virginia listening to us online? Are you upset with Manchin? Oh, man. How many of you have been thinking about John Denver this week? I have not thought about West Virginia since the days of John Denver. Jeez. When's the last time West Virginia's been on your mind? John Denver, that's right. Chuck Schumer on Friday pushed back the Build Back Better vote until after the holidays. Well, and he says no then too. All right. So this is an exciting day. So where do the Democrats go from here? Right? Their president's weak. He's let down the donors. The donors are pissed, so they're not going to be supporting him, his agenda. The donors are pissed at Schumer. The donors are pissed at Pelosi. They didn't deliver. Pelosi and Schumer made promises to the donors they didn't deliver on too. Uh-oh. You see, all the Democrat leadership are in hot water with the donors. That's big. That's big. And, these divisions they have. See, the Democrats, with this internal war they've never had it before. They got a bunch of lunatics like these squad members that are being vocal about the divisions. This isn't even something that they're keeping on the down low. It's already leaking out that there were other senators who were going to vote no, not just Joe Manchin. And eventually, very soon, we're going to start to see those names. So what the White House is going to do is tomorrow, coming out with this ridiculous legislation, or these orders on COVID, are going to try to use that to divert away. Even if every news outlet on television, on cable, streaming, social media, even if there was not another public discussion of the failure of Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, and Chuck Schumer, and their failure to come through with the donors on Build Back Better, right? Even if there was not another mention, the donors wouldn't forget about it. And that's who they're really out there to play. That's their constituency. Their constituency, Biden, Pelosi, Schumer, their constituency are the donors, and they're never going to forget about it. Oh, man. How exciting. How exciting. All right. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. Just, Christmas is Saturday. Still time to go to MyPillow.com and order, anything that you order from MyPillow.com, you can have sent directly to the recipient. Go to the radio listener specials, promo code CANE at checkout. You will see incredibly low prices there, including the MyPillow My Slippers that I have, that Steve Kane have, that are 40% off with the promo code CANE at checkout. Yeah, it's a pretty good deal, isn't it? Oh, yeah. The MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets. Buy one set, get a second set free. These are incredible deals. These are incredible deals. Save 75% off the MyPillow with the promo code CANE. That's an amazing deal, too. 75% off the MyPillow. Huge savings. The 6-piece MyPillow towel set, normally $110, just $39.99 with the promo code CANE at checkout. There are many other specials, too. Any special you see at MyPillow.com, you can take advantage of with the promo code CANE at checkout. So do that for your Christmas shopping. All right, we'll be right back after this. Do not go anywhere.
Come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to any lab test now of Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to any lab test now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours.
Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane Show. Hold on. Steve Kane Show. Hold on.
Now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. You can call them at 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsborough. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. Steve Kane just had GoPro over at his house to trim his trees. On the line, we have Nathan. He's the owner of GoPro. He's going to tell you what he did over at Steve's house and why you should call him to help you with all of your landscaping needs. Nathan?
So the biggest thing we did over at Steve's house, the trees were all overgrown. You couldn't even see the house, the yard, and grass was starting to die because there was so much shade from the trees being overgrown for such a long time. So we came in,
What's up?
looked at the trees,
Double checking the delay.
Oh, yeah.
So that way the trees are balanced and even to make sure that there was no possibility of them coming down in the storms. We did 2 Royal Poinciana trees, one in the front yard and one in the backyard. Also, one of the Royal Poincianas in the front yard was actually choking out one of the oak trees. So now by trimming them back, the oak tree can come back to life and provide a nice healthy tree for Steve. The reason why you should hire the professionals here at GoPro over the guy with just the truck who's mowing the grass next door is our guys are trained in the different types of
Hold on, guys. Be right back.
Bring the tree properly so that way the tree can come back healthy. We service anything from residential, single-family home, all the way up to large HOAs, commercial buildings, whatever the customer has a need for, we can service.
Give Nathan at GoPro a call right now. He'll give you a free estimate. 954-680-7739.
Good morning, everyone. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, and everyone like the video.
Make sure you tell him you heard him on the radio. 954-680-7739.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for
Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. On the radio since 1977, our number toll-free 1-888-GO-KANE1. That's 888-465-2631. First call of Christmas week. Good morning. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Jim from North Carolina.
Hey, Jim in North Carolina. What's on your mind?
I'm just curious. It's great for Joe Manchin, but I'm curious about, they don't have any interviews or talk much about cinema. How come we haven't heard much from her lately?
Well, she was against it too. There was actually comments from her yesterday afternoon that she was also a no vote. They just haven't focused on her.
I'm kind of curious, thinking, oh no, she might flip. I'm going, oh no. Because you don't hear much from her.
Well, it really didn't matter if she flipped. Even if she flipped, they didn't have Manchin. Yeah. All right, take care. Well, you know, the thing with cinema, there's a lot of Democrats that were voting no, but there was no need for them to be vocal about it because Manchin was being the front man. And probably what happened with cinema, I know a lot of people, I've wondered about this too, and my guess would be, I don't know, but I'm guessing, my guess would be with cinema is, you know, she was getting all this harassment. They were following her into the bathroom. They were harassing her. They were stalking her. That's scary for a woman. So she took a step back. I remember she went to Europe for a while even. She took a step back from being very vocal about it, even though she was a firm no vote because they were harassing her so much in person. Now, did you guys catch Charlemagne de God with Kamala Harris? I'm no fan of Charlemagne de God. Is it sacrilege to call yourself de God? I don't know. I know I wouldn't do that. He's got a new show somewhere in a new beautiful studio somewhere. Still as left-wing as ever. But Charlemagne de God is one of the most arrogant people I've ever seen in broadcasting. He is in love with himself. And you can see this love that he has for himself when you watch the video. If you've seen the video of him interviewing Kamala Harris, he has this smirk on his face. That smirk means he's in love with himself. And that smirk looks like it's permanent, you know, like Jack Nicholson's Joker in the 1990 Batman? Yeah, I mean, it's just he's in love with himself. But even though he's got a lot of problems, every once in a while, by accident, something interesting happens. So Charlemagne the God, he had on Kamala, and Kamala Harris was completely humiliated. Listen.
Alright, who's the superhero that's going to speak against Joe Manchin? No. I want to know who the real president of this country is. Is it Joe Biden or Joe Manchin?
I'm sorry, I interrupted. I said the vice president. It's the mom. I'm so sorry, Charlemagne.
Okay, now this is an interview that they're doing in this beautiful studio. Charlemagne de God is in his studio, and Kamala Harris is remote, and then someone comes in. This is Simone. They didn't like the question, so they came in to wrap it up. And what I find interesting, this is Simone Sanders. This is Simone Sanders. I thought she was fired. Is she still with Kamala Harris, working with her till a certain time? But when have you ever seen a president or vice president in the middle of an interview? This has happened with both of them on multiple occasions. When have you ever seen, prior to Kamala and Joe, When have you ever seen a president or vice president interrupted by an aide like this in the middle of an interview and then lying to the interviewer? It's very strange. Made her look weak, made her look stupid.
Can you hear me, Madam Vice
Oh,
President?
I'm sorry. You got a rap?
Oh.
So I'm sorry to interrupt.
They're acting like they can't hear me.
I can hear you.
Oh, so who's the real president of this country? Is it Joe Manchin or Joe Biden, Madam Vice President?
Come on, Charlamagne. It's Joe Biden.
I can't tell sometimes.
No. It's Joe Biden, and don't start talking like a Republican about asking whether or not he's president.
Do you think Joe Manchin is a problem?
It's Joe Biden, and I'm vice president, and my name is Kamala Harris.
Oh, okay. And my name is, oh my goodness, I am woman, hear me roar. This is amazing thing here, okay? Charlamagne the God may be a jerk, but he is a major influence among likely voters who are black Democrats in this country. Among black Democrats that are likely voters, what happens on Charlamagne the God show, they all know about it, and it has an impact on them. And as tough as he likes to pretend he is when he's all butch here with Kamala Harris and everything, he's not butch when it comes to his audience, no matter how he seems, no matter how he appears. And what Charlamagne the God does is play to his audience. Okay? And this is a very, I know everyone's playing this, and but this is a little deeper, looking into this a little deeper as to what happened here. This tells me that among black Democrat likely voters, which are the likely voters are the most important people of all, because those are the ones that vote, primaries, general elections, that black Democrat, liberal, likely voters, that's who would be listening to Charlamagne the God, are very concerned about Kamala Harris, very concerned about Joe Biden, and think that they're not in charge, that they have no power, that they're powerless, that they're pushed around by this white boy from West Virginia. Oh yeah, he's a Democrat, but he might as well be a Republican in their mind. That interview, it's more than just an embarrassing moment and stupid thing that happened with Simone, I'm assuming Sanders, unless there's another Simone around. Maybe it's that Olympian. What's her name? No, I doubt. I think it's Simone Sanders. And it's beyond just the disrespect. And also that Simone Sanders is afraid that Kamala can't handle a question. It goes to how black Democrat voters are feeling about her and Joe Biden. They can't deliver. They don't know anything about the Build Back Better, these people that Charlamagne the God preaches to on his radio show. All they know is it's a big government bill with a bunch of government money, an unlimited amount of money that's going to be sent out to the country, and they just assume that they're going to be recipients of it in one way, shape, form, or another because they're big government people. And when there's a big government spending bill that they've been told is going to go back to their community to build bridges and roads that are racist and all this stuff, right, Mayor Pete? And it failed, they're upset because Charlamagne the God's people, his listeners, believe that they lost money, that they lost their money, that they had money. They didn't have money coming to them. It was going to the donors, but they think they had money coming to them. And now they don't have money coming to them. They may have even altered their Christmas shopping based on the fact that they had money coming to them. And now that they don't, oh boy, they're pissed. And you look at the failure of Kamala Harris. These people she's fired, I think, have all been African American. It's not just white people that don't like her. I don't like her. It's not because I'm white and she's not. I don't like her because she's incompetent, has no business being in that position, and she's a Democrat who supports crazy things, and many other reasons too. But how bad do you have to be the first female vice president and the first minority vice president and not have the support of the minority community? How bad do you have to be to be the first minority woman vice president and have one of the leading voices among black liberal Democrat voters in this country, as scary as it is, Charlemagne the God. Remember, Rush Limbaugh had Charlemagne the God on his program. Remember that live? Do you guys remember that? How bad must you be to lose that support? Because typically, if you're a Democrat and you're black, you can do no wrong to that community. They'll support you no matter what. Take bribes. The Butcher of Brentwood. You still got their support. But Kamala's lost the black Democrat community support. That's amazing. But it's good for the country. It's good for the country. And like I say, the reason Charlemagne and his listeners are pissed off is they thought they had money coming to them. Because the Democrats in the media have been telling them that, and they don't. Let's take our last break of the first hour. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Building Restoration. We survived the 2021 hurricane season. Now it's time to get your building envelope ready for the next season. Laporta Contracting installs all types of roofs, from asphalt, clay, and concrete, standing metal seam, flat roofs, and slate tile systems. Our building restoration offers complete envelope protection to include siding, stucco, concrete restoration, impact windows and doors, weatherproofing, and painting. Laporta Contracting serves single-family, multifamily, HOAs, and commercial properties. Call Laporta Contracting today for a free evaluation and estimate, and go to our website to see our team and past customer videos at laportacontracting.com. Our number is 954-604-4602. That number again is 954-604-4602. And thanks for listening to The Steve Kane Show.
Brian Craig here. When it comes to auto repair, you want a garage that you can trust. Someone that will only do work on your car when your car needs work. Introducing Champagne Automotive in Boca Raton, the latest sponsor of the Steve Kane Radio Show. Tom called in on the radio to tell us about his experience with Champagne Automotive.
Hi, this is Tom from Tamarack.
Hey, Tom from Tamarack, what's up?
I just want to tell you guys something. I spent the last 2 days trying to get brakes for my car. I was leaving the house yesterday to go try another place that had a lower price. They wanted $800 for the brakes. And that advertisement came on for Champagne. I live in Western Tamarack. I said, let me take a drive up there. Well, I was almost blown over how friendly, honest, old school these people are.
Old school, that's really the term that really describes it.
But let me tell you, the guy...
Hey, you guys in the chat room, it's a toll-free call for you too, so call me on the air. If you agree or disagree, you're welcome to call in.
You don't need brakes, and I about fell over.
Wow, well, have to tell me the end of the story. You got me hooked.
Wayne the Sane, $15 super chat. Thank you. Everyone thank Wayne. The irony, Simone chiming in on Kamala regarding the question, who's in charge? Funny, yeah. Yeah. That's right. Who's in charge, Wayne? It's not Willie Brown's girlfriend. That's obvious.
Like this guy you were dealing with the other day over in Tamarack, they're crooks. And we found Champagne Automotive. Ed, who's the owner, is a listener of the program. They come very, very highly recommended. So I appreciate you calling in and telling us the good story. Now, Champagne Automotive, they're in Boca off Spanish River Boulevard, immediately west of Dixie Highway. The number is 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All righty, welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show. 47 minutes after the hour, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Yeah. Okay, so Charlemagne the God, he what he did was, it was almost like corporate training. You know, like in corporate training, when, what they teach you to do is, if you're going to like criticize someone, you have to give them the I likes first, and then you give them what you don't like. It's part of that participation trophy, millennial, don't hurt their feelings thing. So Charlemagne the God had a little run-in with Kamala with that first clip, And then he had to come back and make friends with her and ask her a softball. Listen.
Do you think the criticism comes from you being a black
Deadly
woman?
Raver, $10 super chat. Thank you.
I think that
Okay, now, before I play the rest of this and getting her answer, do you think the criticism of you is because you're a black woman, a woman of color? Every politician is criticized, especially the presidents and the vice presidents and leadership in both houses of Congress. Half the country support you, the other half don't. Well, in Biden's case, a quarter of the country give a positive poll and the 75%. But half the country, no matter who the president or vice president is, love them, and the other half hate them. Charlemagne the God's question acts as if other vice presidents have been loved. Look at Pence. Prior to MAGA not liking him, the left used to talk about all of his, they called him a homophobe with all the things he did when he was governor. Give me a break.
Do you think the criticism comes from you being a black woman, a woman of color?
I think that there is definitely healthy discussion that I will leave others to have about that, but I'm going to be focused on the work and I will not be distracted.
It's okay to say yes. We see it. It's okay.
It's okay. We see it. And she laughs with that nervous cackle. Two things here. One about her and one about Charlemagne the God here. I would like Charlemagne the God to give examples of criticism of Kamala Harris that are being given to her because she's not white. And you couldn't do it. You couldn't do it. Everyone knows she's incompetent. Joe Biden's not even talking to her. Wouldn't even sit with her. Wouldn't even sit next to her, remember? At the Bob Dole funeral? Biden got up and asked fake Dr. Jill to switch seats with him so he didn't have to sit next to her. He ignored her at the soup kitchen on Thanksgiving. Okay? So I don't know what Charlemagne's talking. Give an example of criticism that's being given to Kamala. And I don't want to hear about one random person on Twitter. You know what I mean? Like media criticism, Republican criticism, mainstream criticism of her that is only because she's not white. I'd love to hear that. But then what Kamala does at the end is not good. Let me play it again.
Do you think the criticism comes from you being a black woman, a woman of color?
I think that there is definitely healthy discussion that I leave.
We were talking a little bit about this on the show last week. Racism is awful. No matter if it's white against black, black against white. I'm opposed to all racism. I'm opposed to bigotry. But I'll tell you this. To promote the idea that you're a victim of racism, that you're a victim of bigotry, when it doesn't exist, that's a terrible, terrible thing to do. And at any opportunity, if Kamala Harris were a decent, respectable woman, but she's not. Respectable women don't date married men, Willie Brown. But if she were a respectable person, if she was an honorable person, she would say, listen, all politicians it's because I'm vice president, but she didn't do that. What did she do? She implies that because she's not white, people are criticizing her based on that, which promotes a false narrative of racism. What she did, Kamala Harris, with that, what she did was pretty much like promote a false hate crime situation. She's out there. It's like somebody that claims that they were a victim of a hate crime when they were not. She's acting as if somebody, she's making a false charge against she is the one, as is Charlemagne, that are racist here. They're characterizing anyone that takes issue with Kamala Harris as being racist and only doing it because she's not white. That's racist. And her laughing about it promotes the false narrative. They're the ones that are the bigots. And they're telling bigots what they want to hear. Because she's got a constituency, so does he and his listenership, that are bigots against white people. And that is what that's about. And that's pretty disgusting. If she would have said all vice presidents are criticized, not just me, they've all been criticized. And it's not because of her. I would still not like her, but I'd have respect for that comment. And you know what? I think most MAGA people would respect her for that comment. But her constituency and Charlemagne the God's listeners, that's not what they want to hear. They want to hear that white people are terrible. They want to promote this. She is promoting a very, very nasty, terrible, god-awful racial stereotype of white people there. And she thinks it's funny. Hey, you know, that's why we don't like you, okay? And she COVID, pandemic stuff. And we don't know what they're going to be. I imagine today things will start to leak out. But this is the question that should be asked, and it's the only question that should be asked about this. Whether Biden takes questions, Psaki takes questions, any liberal that takes questions, there's only one question to ask them, and they should all be asked the same question over and over again. If the new variant is so bad that we need all of these things that Biden's going to announce tomorrow, we don't know what they are yet, why does he have the southern border completely open with people that aren't even vaccinated for measles and chickenpox? Why do we have to have restrictions on the American people because we've got to slow the spread? Right? They're going to come up with all these things. With the southern border of completely unvaccinated people, they don't have any type of vaccination, even the basic ones that we all get before we're allowed to attend public school. Why are they being allowed in the country at will? Right? Why? It's either so dangerous, so bad, so deadly, so out of control that we need all these restrictions, or it isn't. You cannot have it both ways. And that is the only question reporters should be asking everyone over and over and over again. If things were as bad as Biden will tell us they are tomorrow, they would have the southern border shut down. And they could shut it down because President Trump did it. And they've had the northern border shut down for over a year and a half. It's reopened, but they had it shut down for over a year and a half. And there's no answer to that question from the Biden regime. Because the answer, you know what the answer is. And they know what the answer is, but they've got a narrative. And the media are playing along with it. Look at CNN. They're sending people home because of the new variant. They're shutting down offices. They're having a skeleton crew at the studios, et cetera, because that's part of the, it's like method acting. CNN, they don't just have to, they just can't say the lines. They have to live it. The CNN is in method fake news right now. This is method fake news. They've got to live it. They've got to live it. Okay? Now, I'll tell you another thing. Okay, so, and I give you an example. Elizabeth Warren, everyone knows she's tested positive for the COVID. Hey, I've been tested. I've probably been tested more than any of you listening to me. I get tested all the time at Any Lab Test Now with Boca. In fact, Steve's going up to Any Lab Test Now in Coral Springs for some testing this week. But how sick is she? From what Elizabeth Warren says, she has mild symptoms. That's good news. Okay? We can't have lockdowns and shutdowns and close things down until no one gets sick from anything in this country. This is the #1 economy in the world. It's the United States. All right, our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. We got about 2 minutes left till the top of the hour break. I'll take a call or two, and then we'll break for the top. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Dr. Bob. Good morning. How are you?
Good. What's your name? I missed it.
Dr. Bob.
Hey, Doctor. Are you? Oh, yeah, Dr. Bob. I remember you called last week. The chiropractor.
No, the dentist.
Oh, the dentist. Oh, okay. That was another doctor that called last week. Okay.
That's cool. Anyway, an interesting study on COVID just came out from the University of Oregon Health Sciences.
$10 super chat. Thank you. Everyone thank Deadly River for that super chat.
If you manage to get this new variant, and it is highly transmissible, as they say, you will develop, and you're vaccinated, you will get an immunization that is a super immunity, not just to this variant, but to future variants. And they say this could be the end of the pandemic. He's never going to say that tomorrow.
No, I mean, I don't know. You're a dentist. I'm not a doctor. But I do know this. That, as I was saying a moment ago, the southern border's wide open. People that don't have basic chickenpox and measles vaccinations are coming through, not to mention COVID vaccinations. So if the problem is as bad as they're saying, and they're going to tell us tomorrow, they close down the southern border. They may shut down travel from Europe and Canada again, but not the southern border. So things really can't be that bad, or they would shut it down.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Again, it's full of game. There's no question about it.
Well, well, hey, listen, I appreciate the call. We got to take our break for the top of the hour. It's 7 a.m. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Hour number 2 begins right now.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
You actually have the MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper, which is 50% off right now with the promo
Deadly Raver. I said River earlier. I'm sorry, I didn't have my reading glasses on. Deadly Raver, $10 super chat. Everyone thank Deadly Raver. I don't think you could have phrased it better. Charlemagne and his listeners are mad. Black Republicans are like, we told you this would happen, but you didn't listen. Now they can't deny the truth. That is very, very, very true. Everyone thank Deadly Raver for that super chat.
Where I was doing a pull-up and somebody actually jumped on me, which tore both my rotator cuffs, and on my right shoulder, it severed my bicep, part of my bicep, most of the deltoid, and there's a fine skin that goes all the way around your elbow joint, pretty much all of that. So my right shoulder is loaded with pins and screws, and so is my right elbow. And I can't really sleep laying down. So it's hard for me to sleep. I never get deep sleep. When I got the mattress topper, it has been the first time in probably 5 years. The first night I got it, I actually slept so well. I slept through boot camp and 2 clients. It's so supportive and so comfortable, and it eases the pain that I have. I'm actually sleeping longer, deep sleep durations, which is imperative for, your health.
Oh, yeah.
I'm supposed to get
That's amazing.
down into the...
That's amazing, Andrea. That really is. Now, listen, if you go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener specials, you can get the very same mattress topper that I sleep on, the one that Andrea is talking about. It's the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, the thickest mattress topper that Mike Lindell and MyPillow offer for 50% off with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. You can also order by phone, 800-716-4879, 800-716-4879, promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. Yeah, that's amazing, and I'm glad we can help you out with that, and I'm sure it's been a big change in your life.
It's shocking. It's literally shocking. It's the best thing I have ever bought, truly.
Wow. Hey, Andrea, thanks for that. I appreciate it.
Have a good day, Brian.
All right, take care. Wow, that's amazing. You hear that? First night's sleep she's gotten in 5 years with the MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper. 50% off with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. And again, you can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. Comes in every mattress size there is, and it comes in a box that's perfect to wrap and put under the tree. You can also send it to the recipient of the gift if you're sending it out for a Christmas gift. But as you can hear with Andrea, it makes a great gift for yourself as well. Wow, that's an amazing story.
Hi, Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Building Restoration. We survived the 2021 hurricane season. Now it's time to get your building envelope ready for the next season. Laporta Contracting installs all types of roofs, from asphalt, clay, and concrete, standing metal seam, flat roofs, and slate tile systems. Our building restoration offers complete envelope protection to include siding, stucco, concrete restoration, impact windows and doors, weatherproofing, and painting. Laporta Contracting serves single-family, multifamily, HOAs, and commercial properties. Call Laporta Contracting today for a free evaluation and estimate, and go to our website to see our team and past customer videos at laportacontracting.com. Our number is 954-604-4602. That number again is 954-604-4602. And thanks for listening to The Steve Kane Show.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. Call the show toll-free. Dial 1-888-COCAINE-1. That's 1-888-COCAINE-1. And now, here's...
Alrighty, welcome back, everyone. 5 minutes after the hour, it is Christmas week. We are here live. Hour number 2 has begun. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Oh, man. And in the first hour, we've been celebrating the collapse of the Biden presidency. The Build Back Better is done. Saved by, well, Democrats. Democrats saved us. There was a major rift, a civil war, some may say, figuratively, inside the Democrat Party. And it saved us, Joe Manchin. And I'm very excited that he announced it on Fox News Sunday and has a story so big, everyone on the planet is talking about it. The first Kane won. 888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Rick from Hollywood. Have you heard the King Charlemagne interview with Rush Limbaugh?
I did. Yeah, I mentioned that. I did hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they were very condescending to him.
I remember the interview happening. I don't remember the details of it, but I actually heard it live. And Rush, that was a very unusual thing that Rush did. He did not have a lot of guests, Rush Limbaugh, and when he had Charlemagne, and I guess he had some of that Breakfast Club crew on, that was an honor that not many people had for him to share his audience with them. But I don't remember what their tone was with him. How were they condescending to Rush? What did Charlemagne say?
Well, they were discounting all the points that Rush was making that were very logical, and they were starting to use the race card on him.
Did they? How? Tell me what they said. Do you remember?
I don't remember specifically, but I could possibly paraphrase.
All right.
You don't understand because you are who you are, and we are who we are, and using that as if you don't live in the same society.
You know, Rush absolutely was an amazing person. No college education, and became a man worth tens of millions of dollars. And I'll tell you, when he first was getting syndicated, Rush Limbaugh, on different radio stations, and I've talked to more than one person. Do you know how he got himself syndicated on stations around the country?
No.
He picked up the phone himself and called station managers and program directors and station owners directly, and called personally and did pitches over the phone. And that was before he was a household name. Okay, when he was just starting to get syndicated. I don't think many people know that. You know, and I've had more than one person tell me that they were the person that got one of those phone calls over the years from Rush Limbaugh. I mean, that was a lot of... People think a radio show is easy. You know, this is the longest running radio show in Florida. It takes a lot of work. If people think, oh, you're just on the air jabbing your jaw for 3 hours. I wish that was all it was. You know, a lot of work goes. It looks easy because Rush was very good at it, but no, he worked very hard to make himself a success. You know, Charlemagne the God is obviously successful. Everybody knows who he is, and everyone's talking about him. You know, so I mean, he's successful. So I don't know what all this victimhood business is all about. He seems to be doing all right.
And what's your opinion on Jesse Kelly on Premiere?
You're talking about, I don't have Premiere. I have not seen it. And Jesse Kelly, the name's familiar, but I'm not sure who that is.
He's on the Premiere Network. He's on WIOD from 9 to midnight on weeknights.
Oh, I don't listen. Oh, he's a radio guy? No, I don't listen to that. I don't know. I have no opinion.
It's the fastest growing conservative talk show.
Oh, well, you know, I don't know anything about him, but the fastest growing, you know, fastest growing is such a misleading thing to say. I'm not. Maybe it is. I'm not. I don't know who the guy is. In fact, I don't. I thought you were talking. So I don't know who he is. I thought you were talking about somebody else. Actually, I thought you were talking about this TV thing. But the fastest growing, that means like today you could be on one station and tomorrow you're on two. You have a 100% growth of your syndication. That could be the fastest growing. You understand what I mean? So that's a miss. I don't know anything about the guy. I don't know who he is, but that's a very misleading way to promote yourself that I wouldn't do.
He doesn't promote himself that way, but I read an article about him. He replaced Buck Jackson before Buck took over Rush.
Oh, well, if the same people brought him in that brought in Rush, that doesn't speak too highly because Buck Sexton sucks. Buck Sexton is not bad as a brief guest that's on for a minute or two spot talking about something on TV, but doing a show, no. What are you, in his fan club? You know, people pay to advertise. I'll tell you what, have Jesse Kelly buy spots on the show. We'll give him some spots, maybe. Give him enough free promotion. You know, what happened, though, I'll just tell you real quick, because it's just pumped in my mind. I want to talk about this real quick, and then I'll get back into the issues. Cause I didn't plan on talking about this, but since Rush came up and Buck Sexton came up, what's happened with the syndicate, these new syndicated shows, okay? They call it the Rush Limbaugh replay, the Buck Sexton and Clay Aiken show, and Dan Bongino, okay? This is really a bad move so far as the MAGA movement and the conservative movement goes, okay? And my opinion of Buck Sexton and the Clay Aiken show, I know his name's Clay Travis, by the way, but Clay Aiken's easier. You know, Clay Aiken was the gay guy with the smelly feet that won American Idol. He got in trouble on an airplane with a lady because his feet didn't smell good, Clay Aiken. The Clay Travis and Buck Sexton show, I've listened to it several times. It's not even mediocre. The analysis is juvenile. And I'm sure Clay Travis is very, very good at sports talk because I'm not saying that to make fun of him. Sports talk and issue-oriented news, political talk, issue-oriented talk like we do are two different things. I could not do sports talk. It's a whole nother. I don't believe sports talk is talk radio. Okay? I don't believe it's talk radio. I know it's called sports talk. It has a name, but it's not really talk radio. But I've seen Clay Travis many times on Fox talking about controversial issues involving sports. And when he's talking about sports, even if it's a controversy over a political issue inside the sporting world, I think he's very good. But when I hear him talk about the news and politics, it's juvenile. It's like high school radio. And Buck Sexton I'm a little concerned with because he's got the CIA background, you know? And my personal belief is the replacement for Rush Limbaugh should have been Bill O'Reilly. Should have been Bill O'Reilly. That would have been my top choice. My number 2 choice would have been Mark Levin. But, you know, Mark Levin is very good, but to me, and maybe just because he's more of a nighttime personality, but my first choice would have been Bill O'Reilly. My second choice would have been Mark Levin. And I believe what happened with the so-called Rush Limbaugh replacement, I hate calling them that because it's not just that no one can replace Rush Limbaugh. These guys couldn't replace anyone. I mean, they just suck. But my belief is that the Republican establishment have hijacked the Rush Limbaugh time slot to make sure that no one who was MAGA, no one who was pro-Trump got in there. Mark Levin's MAGA. Bill O'Reilly is very close friends with the president and just had this very successful 2-week tour with President Trump. Huge crowds at the Texas venues, if you've seen the pictures over the weekend. And I think they plugged in 2 guys, the Republican establishment, that are not MAGA, that are not Trump supporters, and it's a big loss for the conservative movement as a whole to have 2 guys that aren't even mediocre taking over in that time slot. And it very well could have long-term negative impact for the conservative movement. I don't know where those listeners have gone. I do not know where those listeners have gone. But, and I'll ask you guys this, and please call. How many of you were Rush Limbaugh listeners at noon that don't listen to that program today, that were Rush Limbaugh listeners for years, 20 years? Long-time Rush Limbaugh listeners, your day revolved around it. You always made sure that you had Rush. And you know, the thing about Rush, most people wanted to make sure they caught the first 20 minutes or an hour, because the first hour, in particular the first 20 minutes, first half hour, but the first hour is when Rush would go through most of his new stuff and give his opinion and analysis, and then after that it would, you know, get into other things. But I know that millions and millions of people, because people in my own life that I know, like Steve was would never miss a Rush Limbaugh show. I didn't listen that often. I listened the last year, and I was very sorry that I didn't. Okay? After that, because he was so great, and I was even listening on his last day. He was so great, you know? But even Steve doesn't listen to that. And he no matter what Steve was doing, he made sure that he was by a radio at noon when Rush came on. Okay? And that is a major loss for the MAGA movement and the conservative movement that is not going to be regained. Just not. And it'll have a long-term negative impact on our movement. All right, 1-888-GO-CANE-1 is our number. 1-888-465-2631. 1-888-465-2631. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
You know, you're talking about the whole replacement for Rush Limbaugh thing. You know,
Hold on.
Think about this. There were 3 different guys that they wanted to try and replace him with. The different companies that syndicated his show. 2 were Buck and the other guy, but the third one was Dan Bongino, who still does his podcast, who was coming off of doing his podcast. But the problem with him is, he too is MAGA, you know?
Yeah.
Is Bongino. So once they found that out, they had to do something to get rid of him. And we know the controversy that's going on with Bongino and the whole vaccine.
Well, Bongino's trying to get off the radio. I think, in my opinion, I don't know what the current situation is, but he's trying to get them to drop him.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to do it, I don't think.
No, I don't think so either.
I mean, and I'm a fan of Bongino, okay, and he's good, but the ones that are on most of it is the Clay Aiken, Buck Sexton, and they suck. I'm sorry, they suck. There's no other way to say it. They suck.
Right, and that's the thing. And look, they're looking, what they were looking for, the radio stations were not. Bill O'Reilly would be a good pickup, but
no, it's not the radio stations. It's the overall. The Republican establishment don't want a MAGA conservative having the Rush Limbaugh audience. They want Buck Sexton. So far as I know he was a CIA guy, which I'm very suspect of that. But he came up through fame through Glenn Beck. And Glenn Beck's a big never Trumper, no matter what he tells you now, okay? Big never Trumper. He screwed that up back, in the early days. And no, that show was put together to weaken the MAGA movement. Hey, Mike, take care. Thanks for the call. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
RJ from Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, RJ, what's up?
O'Reilly's got the controversy, the sexual harassment claims and all of that, the payoff. So
Oh, please.
he'd be too controversial.
Really? Bill O'Reilly's been all over the news the last few weeks with his Trump tour. I haven't even heard. So what?
I'm going to just say it's a roadblock to it. And with those other guys, there's some cost cutting, right?
No.
And what Rush Limbaugh made.
Well, they're not worth. They're not worth as much. They can't generate the revenue. They're not worth as much to advertisers. They can't pay them anywhere near that because they can't generate that kind of revenue. The Buck Sexton Clay Travis replacement was a way for the Republican establishment to take control of the Rush Limbaugh audience, and they did not want to have a MAGA conservative around. And Bill O'Reilly, they can't control him, and he's very good friends with President Trump.
Right. All right, Bill.
All right, take care. Appreciate it. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good.
Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, James. You're on the air.
Well, I'm in total agreement with you. Nobody can replace Rush, and I don't know if O'Reilly or Levidio from 6 to 9 than it is from 12 to 3 anymore.
Well, I'll try not to take that personally. I mean, it's so bad. What you're telling me is that radio is so bad, you have to listen to the Steve Kane Show. I appreciate that.
No, that's not what I'm telling you.
I know what you're saying. 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 I'm just being funny. How many people did they say listen to Rush every week? 20 million or something, And the Republican establishment, President Trump is draining the swamp of the rhinos. The rhinos took over that time slot. That's it. And nobody can replace Rush, but you can find competent talent to put on the air, like Mark Levin, Bill O'Reilly. I'm sure there's a couple of others, but they didn't. They found two guys who suck. And again, Clay Travis, I'm sure is very good doing the sports. Okay, I'm not saying that to bring him down. I've seen him talk about sports on TV many times, and he's very good. Okay, even talking about issues involving sports, like some player does something and they're talking about he's very good on that. But talking about news and issues and politics, he sounds like a child. And there are some people that are not hosts but are guests. Buck Sexton's a decent guest. You got him on for 5 minutes. You get his opinion on Afghanistan. See you next week, maybe. To do a 3-hour show with this team was by design to weaken the MAGA movement, is what I'm saying.
Okay, I got you.
I mean, if they would have put Mark Levin on, for example, okay, who's very, very good. I like him a lot. If they would have put, he was a never Trumper, but Trump approves of him now, and he came around. So I trust in Trump. If Mark Levin was on in those 3 hours, that would be must listen to radio. Between noon and 3 still, even after Rush. It would be must listen to radio. And it would be very MAGA, which is where the pulse of the conservative movement is right now. And, and they didn't choose Mark Levin or someone like him. And they didn't choose him for a reason, because the establishment, there's a lot of connections between Mitt Romney's company, Bain Capital, and the company that owns the radio stations that the EIB network is on. There's Bain Capital connections. There's Romney connections that go back many, many years. And that was part of it. They did not want to turn over that show to a MAGA conservative. And that's where conservatives are now. If you're a conservative doing talk radio and you're not in the Trump camp, you're good luck. You know, that's like being a conservative against Reagan, you know, in the 80s. That's ridiculous. You know.
Rather see a Democrat in office than anybody from the MAGA movement.
The Republican establishment would be very happy losing the next two elections, and I mean the presidential and the congressional elections, if it means that MAGA goes away. Yeah, yeah. There's an old saying: they want to they would rather control the loss than lose the victory. If MAGA is successful, the establishment don't control the party. If the Republicans lose, the Jonah Goldberg types are in charge.
Well, I think if MAGA is successful, then the country is successful, and it's better for the country.
But they're in the business. Oh my gosh, oh my goodness. I agree with you, but you can't use those words on the radio. All right, we'll be right back.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
This is Lori King. And I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had a lot of work done, and I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was
Steve Kane Show.
Lost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities. I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment for the next Saturday because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money. And I will be a patient for life. Don't let cost stop you from taking care of your teeth. Brighton Dental gives Steve Kane listeners incredible discounts on all dental procedures, just like they gave me. Prices are so reasonable, you don't have to worry about the cost. So call Brighton Dental today at 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you.
At AJ's Natural Shop at Festival Marketplace, you will find the best vitamins, herbs, and everything natural at amazingly low prices. I'm Anita, one of the owners of AJ's. My 20-plus years in the natural products industry has allowed me to make contacts with the top supplement and health food manufacturers throughout the country. So even if you can't find your favorite item at AJ's, just ask. I can get it for you at a great price. Call AJ's today. 954-3...
Wesley, $10 super chat. Everyone thank Wesley. Good morning, Brian. Bongino has been back on the radio since early November. Yes, I do know that. Dana Lowe, she listened frequently. She's awesome. I haven't listened to her enough to have an opinion. All right, we're back very late on that break. Oh, my goodness. 27 minutes after the hour, so this will be a short segment so we can get back on track. Let's go back to the phones. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 1-888-465-2631. Andrea, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. How are you today?
Doing all right. How are you?
Merry Christmas.
Oh, yes. Merry Christmas to you. Happy New Year as well. Very exciting.
Absolutely. What a great day today.
Oh, yeah.
Great day.
Oh, yeah.
But my hope is that, because you're right, Joe Biden is going to come out like a complete and utter dictator tomorrow and probably threaten to lock us down.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're going to have that situation like they're trying to pass in New York where they can unlawfully detain unvaccinated people.
That's right.
Joe Biden's tried to other people. And I hope that is met with just massive resistance. And you know what? Shame on the NYPD for arresting people.
Well, you know, I'll tell you, we're entering this phase that we used to see in the old movies, like in the Soviet Union, with the guys in the leather jackets going around asking people for their papers, and if they don't have their papers, they get arrested. You know, and we're moving into that phase in America right now, and I'm not kidding. And, you know, Joe Biden, because of his huge failure with the Build Back Better and all this, he's going to come out tomorrow probably. That's why he was waiting till Tuesday to make the announcement. He's going to come in tomorrow to look like he's Butch, in control of the country, has all this power and influence. You know, that's why he screwed up Afghanistan. He pulled out of Afghanistan and screwed it up even against the recommendations of his lefty military leadership, because he had to show everybody he was in charge, and he's not out of it. And look what happened. So I'm really concerned about what announcements Biden makes tomorrow. It's going to not be good.
Well, so am I, but here's the thing. Until people push back, and I truly think that they're going to push back now, it's what you said. You cannot have a wide open southern border and shipping people all over the country and then make Americans bend the knee to your totalitarian edict. No, I don't think.
Well, you know, I'll tell you, you know, listen, you say that. Now, luckily, those of us in Florida, we have Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis said to, I think it was Bartiromo who interviewed him yesterday, but Ron DeSantis said over the weekend there will not be any lockdowns. We will not shut down businesses. He's sticking by having Florida open and free like we've been the whole time. But I've noticed even in Ron DeSantis' free Florida, so many people wearing masks again. So many people wearing masks. And I haven't seen masks in a long time. My wife and I went. I don't even own a mask. But anywhere that has federal control over it, Biden can issue an executive order, right? So anything that the federal government has authority over. And that's a lot. And if you go someplace like that, like if you went to the post office, I'm not going to wear a mask, they'll toss you out. So, you know, it's easy to not comply if you don't participate in anything that the federal government has oversight on. But, and you know, and I see, and when I'm seeing so many people wearing masks, tells me that you're in a minority.
Be free and be in a minority than to be a sheep and be in the majority. Everybody should do what's best for their health and their well-being. But what's not okay is that you insist that I do what you want me to do. Because I could tell you right now, I'm not going to.
Yeah. Well, then okay. Now, here's the thing. So, and I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just telling. I deal in the world of reality on this. That means you're not going to fly again. You'll never fly again. You can't fly. They're going to, you know, there's going to be masks required to fly for years to come. So that means you're not going to fly again.
My point about that even. Right now, believe it or not, right now, the police in these Democratic-run cities, now they have leverage, right? Because crime is so insane now. Now all the Democratic mayors and stuff are calling, oh, we're going to crack down on crime. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. The police have leverage, and they should use it. They should just be like, no vax mandate. We're not enforcing these insane edicts. And you know what? The mayors will cave. Once a breed is...
You're kidding yourself. You know, it depends on what community you're in. If you're in a, you know, if you're in a place like Florida, which is, and we even have our own problems in Florida, but if you're in Florida, where we have, this is a very, very red state, okay, you're okay. But if you're in a state where there's Democrats and you've got a Democrat mayor, it's not going to be that way. Democrats believe that the government is the answer to everything, that the government knows better than you on everything, no matter what it is. So if you're in a Democrat community, they're going to go along with whatever Biden says tomorrow. And if you're in one of those Democrat communities, you have a choice. You either don't leave your house or you do leave your house. And that's going to be the reality. And the only thing you can do to stop it really forever is to vote for Trump and whoever he is backing, because that's the only way this is going to stop. This will be the forever pandemic if we don't have Trump and MAGA back in office. Yeah.
I agree, but I'm going to Build Back Better. The American people should never forget all those coward Republicans that voted for the infrastructure. They should never forget what Mitch McConnell did or Kevin McCarthy. They're all weak leaders. They need to be removed. But my question to you, and I'm thinking that you'll be able to explain this to me, how is Bernie Sanders on TV saying that they should just bring the bill to the floor for a vote, regardless of Joe Manchin? Like, how does that work?
Well, because what they don't want to do, the reason they didn't bring it to the floor is because the Democrats didn't want to have a vote that was on TV live, that everyone was watching, that they lost. But the reason Bernie wants to do it is because he wants people to have to be open in their no votes. Because this wasn't just Joe Manchin and Sinema. There were a few Democrats in the Senate that were going to vote no. And he wants those other senators on the record. That's why he wants to do it.
So then they couldn't just override Joe Manchin's no vote.
No. There's no overriding it. No, there's no overriding it. He just wants Bernie Sanders just wants everyone on the record with their yes or no, their yay or nays. That's all.
All right. Okay. I thought he was trying to kind of like.
Well, it's possible that a lot, the way they would do it. Okay, they only needed one. Manchin and Sinema vote no, and the other ones that were going to vote no will vote yes to save face with the Democrat Party. Bernie Sanders has this fantasy where all the no votes would have been outed. Or they would maybe use it as an intimidation tactic against Manchin and Sinema, as a final thing if they have to go on the record and become openly the face of it. Sinema, the reason Sinema's in the background is because she dealt with so much harassment, she went to the background on purpose. They were harassing her and it was scary for her. So she backed off publicly and let Manchin take the heat. But she was a firm no the whole time too. They had no hope of getting this through. None. Which is really, yesterday with Joe Manchin, this is the official end of the Biden presidency. He's a lame duck no matter what from this time forward. He has no juice. He's been trying to get this passed for 5 or 6 months, and he couldn't do it. Can you imagine what Joe Manchin was put through? They offered him anything he wanted in the world. They tried to bribe him, and then they investigated him to blackmail him. And they obviously couldn't find any blackmail material, because even if he told them to get the hell out of here with it, they would have leaked it to the media and it would be out there. And I haven't heard anything about Joe Manchin that soils his reputation. So, Joe Manchin must be a pretty clean guy like Donald Trump, because believe me, the last 4 or 5 months, they've been doing deep dive investigations into him, his family, as far back, and any friend, any business associate. They've been looking at everyone, and they couldn't find anything to try to humiliate him with to vote yes. Same goes with Sinema.
That was the only thing that scared me, is Bernie Sanders saying that, because it sounded to me like they were just going to try to push this.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Well, I was thinking that what we would, for a senator who's a man, not to have some type of sex scandal or set him up with a sex scandal, I figured something like that would happen. With Sinema, a woman, you don't have those problems. She's not even straight, so but I figured they would find something on a guy, a male senator. Nothing. They couldn't find anything. Not only could they not find anything on him, they couldn't find anything on any family members or business associates that would embarrass him to leak to the media or to use him to change his vote. That is amazing. That's amazing. Hey, Andre, I got to run for a break, but thanks for the call. Yeah, it's a great day. It's a great day. All right, 39 minutes after the hour. We'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
If you suffer with diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences, up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Soul Authority. At the Soul Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes made specially for diabetics. You're probably not aware, but as a diabetic Medicare recipient, you are entitled to one pair of high-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name-brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable.
Steve Kane Show.
And one of the preventable measures that is most effective is wearing the proper shoes. Call the Soul Authority at 954-597-7060 or online at thesoulauthority.com. That's THESOLE authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
Do you think you've come in contact with someone who has
Be right back,
coronavirus?
guys.
Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to any lab test now of Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to any lab test now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes. Thank goodness the test was negative, and I can go back to work tomorrow. They also tested me for the antibodies, and I haven't been exposed. So do what I did. Go over to any lab test now, Coral Springs.
No, he's rich from his business. His private business he was in, Joe Manchin, before he was in government.
And know that you and your family are safe. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. You can call them at 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on Radio. Just search for WWE.
All right, welcome back, everyone. 42 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Conservative Doug, good morning.
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Yes, that's why I said Conservative Doug, good morning. I said Conservative Doug, good morning.
Sorry, I didn't hit the first one.
Okay.
Oh, I was just thinking this Manchin guy, apparently more worried about being elected than worried about his party, which is good for us. But I'm wondering.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do. You know, you're supposed to. You know, I'm sure they don't require this anymore because this book was written by a white guy. But President Kennedy's book, Profiles in Courage, was written when he was a United States Senator. Anybody had to read Profiles in Courage? And what Profiles in Courage by Senator Kennedy was all about, best-selling book. Profiles in Courage by Kennedy was about senators who did the right thing and voted the right way regardless of what their party wanted. And it's been eighth grade was a long time ago, so I don't remember all the senators and examples in the book. But I think there's like 5 senators that he writes about in Profiles in Courage, and they all went against their party, voting for what they thought was the right thing to do. And Joe Manchin should be given the Profiles in Courage Award, which they give out every year still at the Kennedy Center or Foundation or whatever they call it. You know, President Kennedy's family still give out that Profiles in Courage Award out all the time. Joe Manchin should get it, because he stood up against his party for months and months and months and did what was right for not just the country, but more importantly, his constituents in West Virginia, the people of West Virginia who he represents.
He's the odd Democrat these days. They all think this, no matter what the party does, right or wrong, they're going for it. But Manchin, I'm proud of him. But he's still a Democrat, and he went for the.
Hey, listen, he'll screw us on other things in the future. You know, he's a Democrat. Oh, he's a centrist Democrat. He's a moderate. He's still a Democrat, so he'll screw us in the future. But but opposing this bill, stopping this bill, saved our culture, our society as we know it, because this bill had a lot, and we don't even know everything that was in it because they got all the earmarks that all the congressmen get in there. You know, this bill would have changed the entire American economy. Yeah, we would have become communists. Absolutely.
You know, I'm wondering if he's going to try to run for president because he's certainly got his name out there for sure, and everybody knows who he is.
Well, if he's going, you mean as a Democrat run for president against who? Biden or Kamala?
Yeah.
He's not. I think he's going to have a hard time getting the support of his party. You know, more Democrats support Joe Manchin than you think. Just most of them are going to keep their mouths shut.
Yeah, I'm going to ask a couple of questions to some of the Democrats I know if they like him or not, but I'm sure they're going to hate him. But I can't wait to find out. Just one other thing I'd like to mention. You know, men are not like what they used to be, as you know. Did you hear that Rod Stewart and his son pleaded guilty to battery for trying to get into a disco or a private party that was going on in Miami, and they wouldn't let him in, so he pushed the bouncer, and the bouncer had him, file charges. You know, I mean, what the hell? What kind of bouncer is going to, first of all, not let Rod Stewart into a party and then file charges against?
I would think, you know, hey, I'm a big Rod Stewart fan. I like, you know, anytime Rod Stewart, his more famous songs, I like Rod Stewart when he had an album. I don't remember the name of the album, but it was in the early 80s. And he had that song, You're in My Heart, You're in My Soul. Be My Best Friend When We Both Grow Old. I don't remember what album that was or even what the name of that song was, and his voice was even different back then. He talked more raspy. He sang more raspy than when he got all pop. But you're asking what kind of doorman at a club wouldn't let Rod Stewart in? A millennial who doesn't know who Rod Stewart is. That's who. You know, I mean, now this is true. Paul McCartney did some type of duet with Kanye West a couple years ago, and it was on social media. And there were all these people, this was not a joke, who were like thanking Kanye West and praising him for giving this old guy, Paul, a break. They didn't know who Paul McCartney was. I mean, you know what I mean? So, you know, I would not turn away Rod Stewart. Rod Stewart, he lives in Palm Beach. He can come. Yeah, you know, he's Rod Stewart. You know, I don't know.
Private party is at least the guy just said. He says, "Hey, I'm Rod Stewart." I don't know. You know, go talk to your manager or something. But instead, they wind up.
I don't know. Maybe Sting was putting on the party, and they have some problems again. I don't know. If I were on the if that went to trial, and I was on Rod Stewart's jury, I would vote not guilty, even though he is guilty, because, you know, if you've got a party or a bar or a club and you're not letting Rod Stewart in, who would probably sing a song, you know, if you asked him, okay, we'll let you in, but you got to sing something, you know. You know, come on, you should, you know, come on. No, I would go not guilty to Rod Stewart. No way.
Anyway, I just thought it was funny. And then you mentioned Mark Levin. Did you watch the show last night? Man,
well, no, because you said you had one more thing, and now you're on the second one more thing. But anyway, thanks for the call, Doug. Doug he's a nice guy. I've met Doug at Wings Plus. He is a very, very good chronic. I'll tell you what I mean by that. Conservative Doug has an ability that I'm almost completely immune from. Okay? Most people on the air are not immune from it. There are chronic callers that have the ability to prolong a call forever. And they've always got one more thing, and it ropes in host all the time into the conversation. And Doug does have that ability, which I fight against, but he almost got me. I shouldn't have let him get into the Rod Stewart thing. And he got me to get into the Rod Stewart thing. And then he almost got me with the second one more thing, but I woke up. It's almost like a hypnotic trance these chronics put you through. All right, listen, we're going to take our last break of the second hour. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
This is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Attention seniors and those who care about them. This is Brian Craig. I'm in studio with Debbie from I Will Advisors. She has an incredible new service to tell you about called I Will Advocates. Debbie, what is I Will Advocates and how are you helping seniors?
Well, Brian, over the past few years of owning a Medicare insurance agency, we've learned that there's a huge need for Medicare advocacy, that a lot of people don't have a child or a spouse that can assist them with their medical needs, and that's where we step in.
There's a lot of things that seniors need help with. Prescriptions, doctor's appointments, things like this. How do you help them with that?
If you're having a problem at the doctor's office, having problems scheduling an appointment in a timely manner, we can step in. If you're having issues at the pharmacy, having problems refilling a prescription, or feel that you're being mischarged for something, you can contact us and we will step in. Even if you're at the hospital and you feel like you're being neglected, we'll be there for you at a touch of a button, whether it's to call the nurse's station or assist in any other way.
So if someone's in the hospital, they feel they're not getting the care that they need, they haven't seen their doctor, they haven't seen their nurse, they can actually call you and you'll contact the hospital for them?
Absolutely. We act as your family. We'll step up, we'll call the nurse's station and ask for some assistance. If we can't get anything done there, we'll go to the higher levels.
Now, this is a service that you're offering. Now, they do not have to be an existing client of I Will Advisors to take advantage of this, right?
Oh, of course not. No, we're here for any Medicare client. We can assist in any way. We don't need to be your insurance agent. We're just here to help you with your medical needs.
This is an incredible opportunity for those of you who are Medicare recipients. Debbie at I Will Advocates will help you with your prescriptions. You'll set up doctor's appointments for them, including the primary care physician and specialist, right?
Of course. We'll assist in anything helping you find new doctors.
They'll help you with your medical billing. They'll help you with your insurance billing. If you feel you've been billed wrong by your doctor, they'll step in for that and even help you if you're in the hospital. Basically, what you're offering is a concierge service to senior citizens.
That's exactly it.
That's amazing. I've never heard of anything like this before. So how much does this cost?
Well, for just $20 a month, you will have the security of knowing that you have an experienced, compassionate advocate just a touch of a button away.
To learn more, call Debbie's office. The number, 954-345-1214. 954-345-1214. Or go online. You can sign up online at iwilladvocates.com. That's iwilladvocates.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search
Oh man, I'm looking at the, welcome back by the way, it's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show, on the radio since 1977. My name is Brian Craig and we're celebrating the end of the Biden presidency, courtesy of Joe Manchin. Here's Joe Manchin yesterday, and I'm doubly excited here. I'm doubly excited. First, I'm very excited that Biden has failed with this Build Back Better nonsense. I'm very excited about that. But I am, and I know this is petty, selfish, and not as important in the big scheme of things, but I'm also very excited that Joe Manchin chose to break this news on Fox News Sunday with Bret Baier, the first Fox News Sunday without Chris Wallace since he was fired, because you know it is eating Chris Wallace up inside him that the show that he hosted all these years, the first week he's not hosting the show, everyone on the planet is talking about a moment that had on the that happened on the show with Manchin, the first time that he wasn't on the show. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So here's Joe Manchin on Fox News Sunday with Bret Baier. I hope they give it to Bret Baier. I don't mind Bret Baier.
If I can't go home and explain it to the people of West Virginia, I can't vote for it. And I cannot vote to continue with this piece of legislation. I just can't. I've tried everything humanly possible. I can't get there.
You're done. This is a no.
This is a no on this legislation. I have tried everything I know to do, and the president has worked diligently. He's been wonderful to work with. He knows I've had concerns and the problems I've had, and you know, the thing that we should all be is directing our attention towards the variant, the COVID that we have coming.
Okay, it goes on. It's a no. I love it. It's awesome. It's awesome. And I'm looking at these headlines. These are all in Breitbart. Listen to this. White House turns on Manchin for killing Build Back Better. Jen Psaki shrugs off inflation pain. The squad getting salty. This is all on Breitbart. These are the headlines. Ilhan calls, well, she said profanity. She said the BS word on West Virginia Joe Manchin. Presley, Manchin has contempt for the American people. Sanders, force him to vote. Oh, man. Oh, man. And then they got another Democrat. Build Back Better is not dead. Oh, yes. It's over. It's over. And, you know, at some point, and it's going to happen soon. It can't wait too long. We're going to get the decision as to whether or not Pelosi is going to run again for her 8,000th term or not. Because she failed the donors just like Joe Biden. The donors are going to decide if she runs or not. And I've seen Pelosi in the past few days on television. She looks like hell. Her hair was messed up. I read a report today that she had lipstick smeared on her, that her lipstick was messed up. She's out of it because the Build Back Better failed. But I saw, this is, on another issue, I saw something that I have been waiting for a long, long time here in Florida. You know, we have concealed carry in Florida. And I do not have a concealed weapons permit. And I don't have a concealed weapons permit for a number of reasons. One of the reasons is because of the Florida weather, it's too hard to conceal, right? Because the way a concealed weapons, the laws work, you just can't have it covered up, right? Like if you have your concealed weapon, you know, covered up with your shirt, but the outline of the weapon can be seen through the shirt, you're in violation. You're not concealed. Okay? And it's so hot in Florida. I wear t-shirts, shorts, and Vans every day, pretty much. It's hard. The way I'm dressed, it's hard for me. I could conceal a Derringer, I guess, you know. But other than that, it's hard for me to conceal. And I just read on Breitbart today that one of our Republicans is introducing legislation to allow open carry in Florida, and Ron DeSantis has voiced support for open carry. We'd be the 22nd state, it says, to allow open carry. And if open carry passes in Florida, I'll carry my Glock. Yeah, I'll carry it to work every day. If open carry passes, absolutely. And I like that idea. I've been wanting that for a long, long time. And, you know, and I'll tell you, I think it's got a good chance of happening open carry here in Florida. Because Ron DeSantis, he's been right on everything. I've not seen Ron DeSantis let us down on anything, even over the weekend, talking about whatever announcements Biden makes tomorrow. Plus, he's running for re-election. What a great conservative issue. I mean, is there a conservative in this audience that is not jazzed up at the idea that we're going to have open carry in Florida? I think that is so freaking awesome. I didn't think there was a time in the 80s where there was a brief loophole that, and this was in the Keys. I can't remember the details of it because I was a kid in school, but open carry was allowed very briefly in the Florida Keys. And I remember seeing local news stories of people walking around with guns on their hip, and it went away real quick. They closed that up. But that was when Democrats controlled Florida. Now we got Republican control. And that is Ron DeSantis, he's taken his stand against the violence in the streets, right? He's taken his stand over the weekend against whatever lockdowns Biden comes out with. I see no reason to think that he would not sign this into law. And that's a great issue for all Republicans running in Florida. Because the only people, there are two people that would not like open carry. Right? There's two groups of people that would not like open carry. One would be the Democrats, of course, liberal Democrats. The other ones would be the concealed carry permit class people that have the concealed permit carry classes, make good money on their concealed weapon permit classes. But I think most conservatives in Florida would love that. Oh, man. And certainly our gun stores would love it because I think gun sales would increase in Florida. You can hardly buy a gun now. When I got my Glock on my birthday back in April, I had a hard time. I went to gun stores that had no weapons in them. And when I got my Glock, I got lucky. The guy had just gotten a delivery, and I was the first customer of the day. And I was able to buy my Glock 48. But that's awesome. I hope that happens. Anthony Sabatini is who introduced the legislation, and I think we've had him on the show, Sabatini. I don't know, the name sounds familiar. Have we had him on the show? I think we did on something. I have to look back. All right, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. 2 hours down, 1 to go. We'll be right back with hour number 3. It's Christmas week after this.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Brian Craig here. You've heard Steve Kane talk about the great job Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting did on his new roof. We have on the line John from Wellington, one of our regular callers. He just had his roof repaired by Laporta Contracting, and he wanted to share his experience.
Thanks to the Steve Kane Show, my roof repairs were just completed by Laporta Contractors. They were fast, professional, and the cost of the repairs was very reasonable. I've had 4 sections of roof repaired, and upon initial inspection, they were honest and told me that my roof was good and I didn't need a new one. I called many roofers, and they were all scammers. They all wanted to put on a new roof, and they said they wouldn't repair what I had. Thanks, Brian. Another fantastic sponsor.
Wow, that's an amazing testimonial from John in Wellington. Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting will never sell you a roof that you don't need. Give him a call for a no-charge inspection of your roof. 954-604-4602. That number rings directly to Tom Laporta's cell phone. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaContracting.com.
Traveling and need a COVID test? Maybe you need a COVID test for work or school. Stop by Any Lab Test Now of Boca or Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They offer all the COVID testing panels you need at the lowest prices, including the antibody test. Results in 15 minutes. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is located in the Sandalwood Plaza, where Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsborough on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Call 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood, near the Coral Square Mall in Coral Springs. Call 954-906-5983. Make sure to tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
Hi, this is Lori Kane, and I want to talk to you about Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental Care. I just love Dr. Gupta. I've been seeing him for around 3 years. He always has time for me. He never does unnecessary work, and his prices are very affordable. And if you need implants, go see him because he has the best prices around. Let me give you the number. Write it down. It's 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. 4633, BrightonDentalCare.com. He's just the best.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-COCAINE-1. That's 1-888.
All right, 4 minutes after the hour. It is Monday. Hour number 3 has begun. Steve Kane will be back with us tomorrow. My name is Brian Craig, and here we are. It's Christmas week. Still time to order. No supply chain issue problems either. Still time to order Christmas presents from MyPillow.com, and with the promo code Kane, just huge deals. You can even have the gift delivered directly to the recipient, okay? And these incredible specials that are there right now are out of this world low at MyPillow.com. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener specials. The 6-piece MyPillow towel set, which I dried off with just this morning, regularly $110. With the promo code Kane, just $39.99. The MyPillow 100% Giza Cotton Dream Sheets. I've got 4 sets of these. Buy 1 set, get a 2nd set free with the promo code Kane. The MyPillow My Slippers. I have a pair. Steve has a pair. 40% off with the promo code Kane. The MyPillow itself, the pillow that started it all, normally $69.98. With the promo code Kane, just $19.98. These are great deals. The MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper, that's what I sleep on each and every night, 50% off with the promo code Kane. There are many other specials. You can take advantage of all of them with the promo code Kane, no matter what it says at MyPillow.com. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. The first 2 hours of the show, we have been celebrating, well, the collapse of the Biden presidency. Joe Manchin has stood up. He says, no, not happening. It's over. Biden's done. Schumer's done. Pelosi's done. They all lost. And not only did they lose, they're left with a division inside the Democrat Party that I don't think we have ever seen. You know, and they're being very vocal about it. Bernie, the squad, they're being very vocal. They're all over the news attacking Democrats, not Republicans, attacking Democrats. So this is just wonderful because right after the first of the year, which is just, less than 2 weeks away, we'll be in 2022, that's when the midterm election season begins. And there's no better way for President Trump to start his rallies, which I'm assuming are going to end up being pretty much weekly, with all the governors and congressional candidates he's supporting, than having major division inside the Democrat Party as we are moving into the election year. This is just wonderful. This is a Christmas gift and a New Year's gift that is second only to something from MyPillow with the promo code Kane, because this is an absolutely amazing thing. So we've been celebrating that for the first 2 hours of the program. If you have any comments, if you want to celebrate with us, or if you're a Democrat sitting Shiva next to the Biden presidency, you're welcome to call too. But I want to touch on some other stories in this segment because there are other things going on in the news. Now, I want to talk a little bit. We very well may get a verdict this week in the Dante Wright police shooting, Kim Potter. Did any of you guys catch her testimony on Friday? Oh, man. That was some day in court. And, Kim Potter is the police officer who shot dead Dante Wright. She's the one that yelled, taser, taser, taser. And I watched her entire testimony, both being questioned by her attorney and the prosecution. I watched all of it. And I'm sure a lot of you did as well. And I haven't watched the rest of the trial because they haven't televised the rest of the trial on the mainstream media until Friday. But it seems to me the mistake that Kim Potter made was yelling taser, taser, taser. If she had not yelled taser, 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 would that have been a justified shooting? Absolutely. I was watching the prosecution question the police officer that shot Dante Wright. And he was on a misdemeanor warrant, was this a big deal? She was acting like the way the prosecution was acting as if Dante Wright was wanted on a warrant for speeding tickets or something. Dante Wright had violated his bail on a warrant that was out for him for an armed robbery he committed. He robbed a woman at gunpoint. He pointed a gun at a woman and robbed her. And he was violent. He got physical too. He put his hand down her bra and stole over $800 from her at gunpoint. And that's what that's what the warrant was for, because he got out on bail for that for some reason. I don't know why he let somebody out on bail for a crime like that so easily. And he's driving around in a car on a suspended license. The tag was no good on the car, I believe. And he and his passenger were smoking weed. And he tried to escape. He tried to dart back into the car. So when he went to dart into the car, I would think that the officers on the scene would have to assume he was going for a weapon, since he was facing 20 years in prison for that armed robbery charge. And I didn't think to me, it doesn't seem like her defense attorney's that good. But I only saw the Friday portion. I didn't see what he did for the rest of the trial. But he didn't make I thought the prosecution trivialized Dante Wright's crimes. Dante Wright was facing 20 years in prison. Would that have been a justified shooting? It seems to me it would have been. And yelling taser, taser, taser is what's gotten her jammed up. Okay? And, she was arrested last year and after the George Floyd thing, and, when the left wanted to go around and lynch police officers, and she got caught up in that. Obviously, it was a mistake. But it seems to me that it was a justifiable shooting based on what Dante Wright did, that had the warrant out for him, and trying to jump back in the car. Why would you not assume you would have to assume he was going for a gun based on the charges. All right, our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. I hope she's acquitted. I really do. And we may get the defense rested on Friday, so I'm guessing today we'll get closed. And we could be on verdict watch today or tomorrow in the Dante Wright case with the police officer who's on trial, Kim Potter. All right, 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name?
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Al, Coral Springs.
Mm-hmm. My weekend was wonderful. How was yours?
Good. Hey, you were talking about Manchin earlier. A lot of people are talking about Manchin, but no one's talking about why he's saying no. Now, I know you can't stand the Democratic Party, but in my opinion, they are displaying the true essence of democracy. They're not, chastising him or threatening to throw him off of any party because he disagrees. Biden is still trying to work it out. Now, with the Trumpers, if you were a Republican, if this situation was reversed, you'd be scorned, and it'd be uglier than it is with the Democrats. But no one seems to understand why Manchin is saying no. Now,
now slow down, because I'm glad you're with us. You said that no one understands why Joe Manchin is saying no. By that statement, you obviously understand. Can you explain to me and the listening audience why he said no then, since you understand it?
This is why he said no, and it's going to come to a surprise to a lot of you. And, for your credit, sometimes you bash the Democrats rightfully and wrongfully, and this is an opportunity for you to bash the Democrats based on, some of the nonsense that they don't do for people. See, Manchin is saying, as far as the child tax credit is concerned, Manchin is saying, do it right or don't do it at all. Manchin says, this is important. If you really want to help families, you make this happen for 10 years so that it can become practical.
Oh, so you think Manchin, you're saying Manchin, slow down. So you're saying that, okay. No, the problem is you never finish, Al. You're saying that Manchin doesn't think that the bill is big enough. That's nonsense.
Not that. Manchin is saying on the issue of the child tax credit, the Democrats only wanted to go for 1 year with the possibility of renewal. He's saying no. You're not helping families like.
No. There's a you couldn't be more wrong. There's a very good reason that Joe Manchin said no. What state is Joe Manchin from? Oh, you don't know. If you don't know, oh, okay, West Virginia. That's right. West Virginia. West Virginia is a red state. The people of West Virginia, he wants to keep his seat in the U.S. Senate. He voted no, or he didn't vote. He said he would vote no. They didn't bring it to a vote. Manchin is saying no because the voters in West Virginia want him to say no, which is what a senator is supposed to do. Do what their constituents want. Oh, yeah.
Say no for no reason, Brian. He's already...
No, when he's an elected, as a senator, you're elected, when you're a United States senator, you are the voice of the people of your state in the Senate. You represent the people in your state. Oh, really? Then what are they? What are senators then?
Like you said, most of these senators and on both sides of the aisle, they don't have a...
No. You're the one that doesn't have a clue. Okay, I'm trying to get to this. What is West Virginia? West Virginia is known for two things. Okay. John Denver and what? What's the other thing that West Virginia is well known for?
Welfare.
No, not anyway. This is a... No, not welfare. No, that's not... No. West Virginia is known for two things. No, that's not one of them. One is John Denver, and the other is coal. Coal. When I think of West Virginia, I think of coal. I know you want me to end this call, so you're going to keep saying something over and over and interrupting to me. All right, you got your wish. It's time for a break anyway. And no, it's coal country. When I think of West Virginia, I think of the John Denver song, West Virginia Mountain Mama. Take me home to the place where I belong and all that. I'm not going to sing because I can't sing. But when I think of West Virginia, I think of coal miners. And all that green crap was in this bill, where Joe Biden and the Democrats are going to basically end the coal industry with all of their Green New Deal crap that was inside the bill. The reason that the people of West Virginia were opposed to this bill is because it would end the coal industry, which is the lifeblood of West Virginia. Coal is to West Virginia what tourism and oranges are to Florida. All right, let's take our first break of the third hour of the first show of Christmas week on the longest running radio show in the state of Florida, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. My name is Brian Craig. We will be right back after this break.
Brian Craig here. When it comes to auto repair, you want a garage?
Steve Kane Show.
Someone that will only do work on your car when your car needs
Hold on.
Introducing Champagne Automotive in Boca Raton, the latest sponsor of the Steve Kane Radio Show. Tom called in on the radio to tell us about his experience with Champagne Automotive.
Hi, this is Tom from Tamarack.
Hey, Tom from Tamarack, what's up?
I just want to tell you guys something. I spent the last 2 days trying to get brakes for my car. I was leaving the house yesterday to go try another place that had a lower price. They wanted $800 for the brakes, and that advertisement came on for Champagne. I live in Western Tamarack. I said, let me take a drive up there. Well, I was almost blown over how friendly, honest, old school these people are.
Old school, that's really the term that really describes it.
But let me tell you, the guy I had gone to previously wanted $800. He said, well, you need to change your power steering fluid. And Ed, the owner, put the car up in the lift, pulled the wheels, said, you don't need brakes. And I about fell over.
Wow, well, tell me the end of the story. You got me hooked.
So it wasn't that your vehicle was misdiagnosed at the other place. You were dealing with a crook.
Oh, absolutely. This guy wanted to sell me everything but a washing machine. I don't want that.
Now, this is our new sponsor. We have wanted for a long time to have an auto repair shop. When it comes to auto repair, that is the most difficult category for us to find as an advertiser because most are like this guy you were dealing with the other day over in Tamarack, they're crooks. And we found Champagne Automotive. Ed, who's the owner, is a listener to the program. They come very, very highly recommended. So I appreciate you calling in and telling us the good story. Now, Champagne Automotive, they're in Boca off Spanish River Boulevard, immediately west of Dixie Highway. The number is 561-245-8100. 561-245-8101.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWNN.
All righty, 19 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. 1-888-GO-KANE-1 is the number. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Richie.
Oh, hey, Richie, the bus driver. Hey, Richie.
I have to, first of all, I've been watching the whole trial because it's been on YouTube.
Are you talking about the Dante Wright, Kim Potter trial?
Well, but I want to bring up Al first. First of all, I hate to admit it, but Al's 100% right what he said to you about the 10 years. And I'd like to say that you're right about West Virginia and the cold and actually gas industry. But what Al forgot to tell you, and Al's a smart guy. I don't know if he does it on purpose or if he just doesn't know, okay, that Manchin said it's a bunch of gimmicks. If they're trying to lie to the American people, say it's not going to cost that much, but they're saying it's...
Now, listen, Richie, we can debate because we really don't know, but Manchin cannot vote for a bill that is going to outlaw the coal industry representing West Virginia. West Virginia would be shut down. You know, he mentioned welfare. Everybody would be on welfare in West Virginia if you shut down coal. I mean, come on. West Virginia is called coal country. They probably have a license plate with coal on it in West Virginia.
But they're lying about the price tag. It's over 10 years. He doesn't want it. He wants to see what it's going to cost over 10 years. They're lying.
And those prices don't even include all the add-on earmarks that the congressman put on.
Inflation, everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bring up this trial.
The Dante Wright thing, yeah.
Yeah. First of all, her lawyers are excellent.
Really?
True old-timers, worth every nickel. They never should have brought this case. The case was brought because it was, once again, a black kid shot by a cop in Minnesota right after...
Well, hold on a second. A black kid shot by a cop. A guy who committed armed robbery and assault on a woman who had violated his conditions of his bail, was driving around on a suspended license in a car, I think, that had expired tags, and smoking weed in the car while he's doing it. Yeah.
His sweet mother, who's a white lady, he's biracial. His sweet mother's got a drug charge. She's got a felony drug charge that just
oh my goodness,
less than a year ago. I mean, this is the choir book. I don't know why the media and the black civil rights leaders in this country pick these dirtbags, and he's a dirtbag, not because he's black, because the kid was a dirtbag. Okay, as somebody to put up there and make an example, like Floyd was a...
Well, because if they get a guilty... The reason that the Benjamin Crump types become it's amazing, these families have attorneys. The reason is because the civil lawsuit against the city, the police, there's millions of dollars to be made on a civil lawsuit. That's why.
They also the family has hired Benjamin Crump already.
Yeah, I know. He's like the Gloria Allred of these cases, right?
This lady went to Catholic school. From the time she's a kid, she hasn't had one mark against her record in 26 years. She never used her gun. She never used her taser on anybody. She's been a perfect...
Now, she used her taser. It came up like 10 years ago. Well, she probably... I was shocked when she said she's 5'3". I don't believe a woman who is 5'3" should be out on patrol. She can be a policewoman at the police station. A 5'3" tall woman doesn't have strength. A 5'3" tall man has a lot more strength than a 5'3" woman. You know. I don't want to tell people what school my daughter goes to. I don't want to tell people what college she goes to.
They had a professor from that college that was a star witness for the defense.
Oh.
Says, yeah, he came on. You missed this one. This guy they couldn't break him at all. The guy's written books, psychologist.
I don't know. You say her attorney's great, and I haven't seen the whole trial. But when he was questioning his client, the police officer Kim Potter on Friday, he was argumentative with her. He argued with her. She was answering questions before he finished, and he really got nasty with her. No, I'm talking about her own attorney, the old man.
doesn't know. The lady was the prosecutor that was attacking her when she said, "I'm sorry." The lawyer sitting there said, "Boy, they beat her up in front of the jury. No jury likes to see that. They made a big mistake."
If she would not, the mistake I think she made was yelling "taser, taser, taser" because it showed that she had made a mistake. Yeah.
Because the vehicle could have killed the cop, run him over.
I mean, he tried to escape. Well, and he had that weapons charge. So you got to assume he's jumping back in the car to get a weapon. You got to assume that.
He's evaded court so many times. He's had bench warrants on not just that, other cases, but they wouldn't let him bring it up. The judge, the Asian judge, she said you can't bring up his past. He's got a rap.
The judge seems a little snarky to me.
She's so soft-spoken. She's a very nice lady. She doesn't get excitable. She's monotone.
Yes. Yeah.
But she's a nice woman, trust me.
Okay.
Not like a real judge. I've been watching a lot of trials. She's not like a real judge. She's very mellow. And I think she's pro-defense.
Oh, really? Well, I really hope Kim Potter is acquitted, and I hope we get that verdict this week so she can. And a lot of people are questioning whether or not she was really crying. I think she was really emotional. I think she was for real crying, the police officer, and she's like Kyle Rittenhouse. She's got a lot of PTSD going on.
She's all freaked out, and she freaked out immediately. How could they ask a woman that? They got it on video. When she shot him, she went hysterical and was rolling on the sidewalk, screaming and
yeah.
I don't know. She was all.
Well, they got her saying some things. I don't know if I believe her. She said she has no memory from the moment after the shooting until a few hours later, and I don't know if I believe that she has no memory of that time. I don't know if I believe that. Because during that time, she said some things that don't help her case. Like, she said, I think this might have been on the body cam, if I remember. I could be wrong, but she said, I'm going to go to jail. I'm going to go to prison or something, she said. You can hear her saying.
You're going to bring your Glock, because I've told you, I think you should have had a concealed weapons permit. And your excuse, Brian, may I say this, is that I'm a conservative, and you imagine me shooting somebody being in my...
That's right. That's another yeah.
But now you say you're going to bring it to work.
Maybe. Yeah. I like, open carry. Open carry, okay. There's a couple reasons why I don't have a concealed weapons permit. The one is it's hard to conceal when I'm wearing T-shirts and shorts. How am I going to conceal a Glock? The other reason is, I've told this to people before, is if I shot someone in self-defense defending my life, chances are it would be against a liberal person, because most violent criminals are liberal. And if I shot in self-defense, no matter what they were doing to me, if I shot and killed a black man, I'd be done. My trial would be on TV. I'd be on court TV. The right-wing radio hosts, they'd be pulling up my podcast, old clips of me on the radio that I didn't even know existed anymore, of me talking about things. They would bring up that incident when Steve used the N-word at the high school. Remember that? And they'd put me under the jail if I shot. If a black man had a gun pointed at my head, and I defended myself, they would put me under the jail.
Hauser, and yet they got a book on you, so you're right. You're right.
Exactly. But the open carry it's because people see it. I think it's a deterrent. It's a deterrent. Yeah. Could you imagine? Because all these years I've been doing this. Can you imagine the things that they would have to use on me in a televised trial?
Racist. They got more on you than they have on Trump.
Exactly. There's like a million hours of crap on me after doing this for 30 years.
The white supremacists.
Yeah, and could you imagine somebody like Liberal Al there from Coral Springs? They'd call him as a witness. They'd call him as a witness to testify to my. Oh my gosh, you're laughing, but that's why I don't have a concealed weapon permit.
We laugh, man. Good book.
All right. I mean, you know, it's not funny. I'm in a position I can't defend myself. But no, the open carry, since it can be seen, is a deterrent. Oh, my goodness. All right, let's take our break for the bottom of the hour. 1-888-GO, Kane 1 is our number. By the way, Steve and I, well, Steve's off today. We'll be back tomorrow. Steve's under the weather, and that's why he wasn't here on Friday. He's still a little bit under the weather. Hopefully he'll be back with us tomorrow is the plan. But we're going to be here live all this week, even Christmas Eve, and all next week as well. Christmas is on Saturday, and New Year's Day is on Saturday. So we'll be here all the way through this week, Christmas Eve, all the way next week, even New Year's Eve, okay? So this week and next week, we are here live the whole way through from 6 till 9 a.m. All right, I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. And, you know, there's still time to order anything from MyPillow for Christmas. And with the promo code Kane, there are just incredible deals. Every special you see at MyPillow.com, you can take advantage of with the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. Now, I've been telling you for quite some time about how the MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper has changed my life. It'll change your life, too. And right now, if you click on the radio listener specials with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, 50% off the MyPillow mattress topper. This was a Black Friday special. I asked them to extend it through the holidays, and they did. 50% off the 3-inch mattress topper with the promo code Kane at checkout. Last week, Andrea called on the air and shared her experience with the MyPillow mattress topper, and here's that call.
You actually have the MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper, which is 50% off right now with the promo code Kane at checkout, and you were telling me about your situation and how the MyPillow mattress topper changed your life. Can you tell me about that?
Let me tell you, Brian, I'm literally shocked. I'm normally very skeptical when I buy things. So I have fixed my pillows, and then I bought the mattress topper. So about 5 years ago, I was involved in an accident at the gym where I was doing a pull-up and somebody actually jumped on me, which tore both my rotator cuffs, and on my right shoulder, it severed my bicep, part of my tricep, most of the deltoids, and there's a fine skin that goes all the way around your elbow joint, pretty much all of that. So my right shoulder is loaded with pins and screws, and so is my right elbow. And I can't really sleep laying down. So it's hard for me to sleep. I never get deep sleep. When I got the mattress topper, it has been the first time in probably 5 years. The first night I got it, I actually slept so well. I slept through boot camp and 2 clients. It's so supportive and so comfortable, and it eases the pain that I have. I'm actually sleeping longer, deep sleep durations, which is imperative for, your health.
Oh, yeah.
You're supposed to get
That's amazing.
down into the...
That's amazing, Andrea. That really is. Now listen, if you go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener specials, you can get the very same mattress topper that I sleep on, the one that Andrea is talking about. It's the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, the thickest mattress topper that Mike Lindell and MyPillow offer for 50% off with the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. You can also order by phone, 800-716-4879, 800-716-4879, promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. Yeah, that's amazing, and I'm glad we can help you out with that, and I'm sure it's been a big change in your life.
It's shocking. It's literally shocking. It's the best thing I have ever bought, truly.
Wow. Hey, Andrea, thanks for that. I appreciate it.
Have a good day, Brian.
All right, take care. Wow, that's amazing. You hear that? First night's sleep she's gotten in 5 years with the MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper. 50% off with the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. And again, you can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. Comes in every mattress size there is, and it comes in a box that's perfect to wrap and put under the tree. You can also send it to the recipient of the gift if you're sending it out for a Christmas gift. But as you can hear with Andrea, it makes a great gift for yourself as well. Wow, that's an amazing story.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida.
Steve Kane Show.
Gardens to Coral Gables. Call
There you go.
toll-free 1-855-FM-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All righty. 34 minutes after.
You could maybe see the difference of who's talking. But radio, when they tried out, they should have put, have people blindfolded like the Voice and listen to them. And it's just unlistenable.
The only other time I've seen or heard that on a radio show is Glenn Beck. Okay, he's got his friend Stu, and there's been more than one occasion I've listened to an entire segment of Stu. I thought it was Glenn until they came back from break and he reintroduced himself.
Right, I agree, and I think in that case sometimes people start to sound like their co-host. You guys don't, but I think that guy put on that same kind of voice. They both pitter-patter.
Well, a lot of that has to do with it's amateur hour over there. It's just amateur hour.
Even with the people that call into you, think about it. Richie the bus driver, very distinct voice. Andrea, very distinct voice. Michael from Louisiana, very distinct. It's listenable. It's interesting to hear them because you recognize them. That's why maybe they...
Yeah, but there's a deeper thing here. And I know people... I do believe the Republican establishment put those two guys on to neuter that broadcast. They didn't want a MAGA guy there. That's number one. And I do not like the idea that a CIA guy is one of the people replacing Rush. That sets off a lot of sirens, too.
Yeah, look, there was a lot of thought that went into it. This wasn't an accident. This was a big moment. Big moment in radio history. It didn't just happen by, let's just take these two guys.
Well, and there's also another thing, too. And Steve and I have seen this happen a few times. We've had sponsors where the guy died, and then his kids took over, and they destroy the business because they want to do it differently. If I would have been tapped, not that I was, but if I would have been tapped to take over that time slot, the two things I would do is I wouldn't change a damn thing. I would take Steve along with me to make sure I was doing things right, but Snerdley and whatever team they had behind the scenes would still be there, and I would take my style that I have with Steve and blend it with what they were doing, because what they were doing was working very well for many years. You got these two guys in that are so weak, and I have a lot of sympathy for people on the radio that do talk shows, even if I don't like them or know them, because I know what it's like to do the show, and I hear things in a different way. These guys are so clueless, they don't know they suck. They don't know.
Right, well, they got the big job, so they patted them on the back. Bongino, by the way, I do like Bongino's content, but I think sometimes he, how you say you troll for the answer, he plays it up too much. He says, I'm not saying this because of this, I'm not saying this, I'm telling you the truth. He'll pump up the comment he's about to make a little bit too much. You're like, okay, so say it already.
Well, I like Dan Bongino, but he sounds, to me, Dan Bongino sounds like he drank a 6-pack of Red Bull before he goes on the air.
Yeah, he's very excited about everything that comes out. Not everything that's exciting.
Yeah.
So, not to compliment you guys too much, but I know you're very humble. Without a doubt, if you guys had taken over the Rush Limbaugh show, it would be something incredible. But you know what? Everybody.
Well, I know what the only thing I would do is on open phone. The only thing I would do differently there's a few things I would do differently, but open phone Fridays, like once a month. Open Phone Friday would just be for liberal black people to call. Things like, I would do things like that, because that would be exciting.
The 6 to 9 hour is a great hour. I mean, that afternoon hour, you miss a lot of people. People are working. People are out there. Your time slot is fabulous. It's for people who are getting ready in the morning. They're going, morning drive.
Yeah.
Or retired people just before.
Well, the Steve Kane Show is on. We're on also overnights, midnight till 6 a.m. So we're literally... You listen overnight? My wife listens at night sometimes, and sometimes I ask her not to because I get weird dreams and stuff because I'm hearing myself and Steve. But we're on the air weekdays from midnight till 9 a.m. Midnight till 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Rabbi David, take care, and thanks for wishing me a Merry Christmas. I've never heard a rabbi wish Merry Christmas before.
And to Kathy as well.
All right, take care. All right, that's awesome. How many of you have been wished Merry Christmas by a rabbi? That is a very unusual happening, let me tell you. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hi, good morning, Brian.
Yes, you're on the... What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm from North Lauderdale.
Okay.
I'm a new listener.
Welcome.
Just calling you to tell you that this show is so awesome. You're so handsome. I watch you on YouTube too. And my husband and I, we went to Wings Plus because you always rave about Wings Plus. But
oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? I gotta tell you. Some of the people in this audience, I knew when I started that call that there was a problem. I knew there was a problem. I'm not going to tell you how I knew, but I knew there was a problem right at the beginning of that call. All right, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. I was talking to somebody over the weekend that does a show. So, what we do here on this show, I know most of you probably know this, but some of you may not. All the calls on this program are screenless. We take the calls live on the air. Steve's not here today. I'll be back tomorrow, I hope. He's been under the weather for a few days. Hopefully he's better. But Steve has a studio at his house in Cooper City. I'm in Boca at the radio station. And I answer the call screenless on the air. Sometimes you'll see me answering the phones if you're watching online because, we have call-in sponsors that call in. I got to coordinate. But the calls are screenless. And even if I answer the phone, I don't ask anybody anything of what they're going to talk about. And that's a bit of a double-edged sword because you lose a little bit of quality control in that some callers make it troll saboteurs who have been bombarding us lately. And I love it. And I think it's awesome because it really shows you what terrible state the Democrats are in right now. Now listen, we're going to take our break. We're going to have our first gold report at Christmas week coming up in a bit. Our number is toll-free 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Now I want to mention next month, at the end of the month, is our cruise. Our Steve Kane 2022 MAGA cruise leaves on Friday, January 21st, and we'll be gone for a week. We'll be on the air that day. But I'm heading straight from the radio station home to pick up my daughter and my luggage and going right to the port, and we'll be leaving that Friday afternoon.
I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Hi, Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Building Restoration. We survived the 2021 hurricane season. Now it's time to get your building envelope ready for the next season. Laporta Contracting installs all types of roofs, from asphalt, clay, and concrete, standing metal seam, flat roofs, and slate systems. Our building restoration offers complete envelope protection.
Yeah.
Videos at LaportaContracting.com. Our number is 954-604-4602. That number again is 954-604-4602. And thanks for listening to The Steve Kane Show.
Listen to The Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All right, and it is time for our first gold and precious metals report of the week. On the line, we have William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca. William Youngerman, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. Hi.
Good. How the metals looking on this Monday?
It's looking very stable so far.
Steve Kane Show.
A nice run up last week with a little bit of a pullback on after hitting the highs on Friday. Friday, we saw gold trade in a range of $1,796 all the way up to $1,817 before closing down on the day 60 cents at $1798.70 on the week. Silver got up to $22.75 on Friday, closed at $22.35, which was down 12 cents on profit taking.
Platinum was unchanged at $937, while palladium was up $49, closing out the week at $1,718. This morning, gold, we've seen trade in a range of about $1,795 to $1,805 so far, and right now it's at $1,798 the ounce. That's down 70 cents.
Okay.
Silver down 10 cents right now at $22.25, while platinum is down $9 at $9.28, and palladium is down $46 at $1,672 the ounce. The stock market is poised to open more than 400 points down again this morning. The U.S. dollar index at 96.42, very strong dollar still. Oil at $67.50 a barrel. And all things remaining equal, it looks like we are in the bottoming process for gold, and I think we could be heading much higher before the end of the year.
Well, that's awesome, because the end of the year is almost here. Now, this is Christmas week. Can you tell people what kind of great watch and jewelry items you have over at William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca that make great Christmas gifts?
Yes, indeed. We have all kinds of necklaces, chains, rings, earrings, some watches. They go out about the same day we get them. They're very, Rolexes and our Pateks go out very quickly. But you could know.
She's heartbroken, but at the end of the day, she's going to prison. You know,
Well, I don't know that.
Listen, the jury has instructions, and she definitely acted negligently. She pulled out what she thought was a taser and shot a guy and killed him.
Well, okay, let me ask you from your legal mind, okay, from your legal perspective. I didn't watch any of the trial except for her testimony, and I caught 100% of her testimony. Her lawyer, the prosecution, then redirect from the defense. It seems to me that the mistake she made was yelling taser, taser, taser. If she would not have yelled taser, 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 would she be jammed up?
You know, that made the case more interesting, because
is that a justifiable shooting if she wouldn't have yelled out taser? Is it
viewpoint? If you don't see a gun, like if you think he's just entering back in the car just because you think there's a gun, that's the.
Well, he's violated bail on a gun charge, and he dodges back in the car. You got to assume he's going for a weapon.
No, her testimony said she wouldn't even pull him over. She thought he was such a...
No. That's not what she said. The prosecution asked her, he had two strange things. Apparently, what state was this in? Was this Minnesota? This happened in? Okay. Apparently, you can't have something hanging from your rearview mirror. So he had like an air freshener hanging from his rearview mirror, which was a violation, and a tail light issue. And she had asked if she normally would pull over for that, and she said no. Not the bail charge.
Meaning another individual, right? That was
Steve
just like
Kane show.
Police officer.
Hey, Anita, we're a couple minutes away, but hold on.
Not pulled him over. Period.
Well, I don't think that's not. No. I'm gonna differ on that. But she did pull him over. So okay, so she did pull him over.
Car. If you don't see a gun, you think a police officer could just kill you, take out a gun, and kill you for not seeing it?
Well, I don't think she planned on killing him. I think that if you have a warrant out for your arrest on a violent weapons charge, remember, he held up a woman at gunpoint and stole $850 that he ripped out of her bra. So it was you don't know. I didn't hear that established. Let me finish. I watched all of her testimony, and that was not really clear in her testimony whether or not she knew the details of what the warrant was for. I don't know. But when you...
Why didn't they get both individuals out of the car on the...
You don't think he was dangerous? You don't think he was dangerous? He was. He held up a woman at gunpoint. You don't think he was dangerous? No. Slow down. I'm almost out of time, so I got to be quick. I don't have time to dance, okay? He violated bail on an armed robbery charge. He held a woman at gunpoint, reached his hand down her bra with his other hand, and stole $850. Okay? And I think he might have even choked her. But you don't think he was dangerous? He's robbing people with a gun. Is that, yes or no, is that dangerous? He robs people with a gun. No. He robbed a woman at gunpoint. You don't think he was dangerous? Yes or no?
Of course, if that's...
Okay, of course he was dangerous, so the cop did the right thing. All right. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hey, did you hear that thing? I was wondering if you heard that thing about CNN. The Newsmax reported about them having to close all their offices.
Well, they didn't have to close their offices. CNN are sending people to work at home because of the Omicron. Yes. And I talked about this at the top of the show. I'll tell you real quick. What they're doing is they're going to have this false narrative going now because of Biden's orders tomorrow. And do you know what method acting is? It's when an actor has to live the part. Like if they're going to play a garbage man, they got to go be a garbage man for a month, you know. What CNN is doing is method fake news. They're getting ready to do a bunch of fake news after Biden's announcement tomorrow, but they got to live it. So they're doing method fake news right now. But listen, I'm out of time, but thanks for the call. And it's time to check in with Anita from AJ's Natural Wellness Shop. She's the A in AJ's. Janet Cimarelli is the J. And Anita joins us on Mondays with the report from AJ Natural Wellness Shop in the Festival Marketplace. Anita, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. What do you have for us today? What's going on at AJ's Natural Wellness Shop?
Well, I wanted to encourage you and all your listeners to come in and sit down with the J, Janet. She is always there for free. And I just wanted to let everybody know that, you know, sometimes you hear the word nutritionist and people get apprehensive. They think that they're suddenly going to have to stop eating all their favorite things or take a pile of pills. And Janet is not like that. She realizes that we're humans, that we have to take small steps to reach our optimal health, and she just doesn't bombard people with huge life changes and long lists when they meet her. Actually, she does the opposite. Oftentimes people come in, and I always encourage customers to come in with the list of whatever they currently take, because we often duplicate and don't even realize. Sometimes you've been taking vitamins for years, and you don't need to be taking two of the same thing, and because they have different names on the bottles, you don't even realize you're doing that and wasting money. So Janet will streamline your nutritional supplements, because if you're taking CoQ10 and ubiquinol, you're duplicating and wasting money. If you're taking curcumin and turmeric, you're pretty much duplicating and wasting money. And it's better to, you know, sometimes start fresh with new eyes to make sure that you're doing the best thing at the most affordable rate for you and your loved ones.
Yeah, you know, Janet Cimarelli is a licensed nutritionist, and as Anita said, she's available for free consultation. Now, they do ask that you make an appointment because Janet is in demand. And as I said, Janet Cimarelli introduced Steve Kane and myself to nutraceuticals in 1998. I know a lot of you guys think it was the great Barry from Barry's Vitamins, which is no more. But it was Janet Cimarelli. And Steve doesn't make a move without calling Janet. He was calling me over the weekend because he had misplaced Janet's cell phone number, and he had a supplement question. And anytime I've asked Janet about a different supplement, I can't think of any time she said, don't do this or don't do that. The supplement is to supplement what I'm already doing, right? You know, you understand what